We've got all these secrets, and I'm tired of the secrets. So that's where she's at.
Y'all already know my secrets.
I was hoping we could get one more dick joke in here.
Welcome everyone in the audience to an awkward episode of the Gateway Wars. Unfortunately, our audio was mixed up by me and your host Harvey Barrel, and we got together to do a commentary episode to talk about what we did, so that way everyone at home can kind of get caught up, at least when I re-upload this. So yeah, let's go around the table and introduce everyone. Art, let's start with you.
Hey everyone, I'm Art. I play Aaron Turnbuckle, half-elven pugilist. He's, if you guys been following, you know he's not that bright, but he has a good heart. So we'll see what happened this game. We'll let you know what's going down.
All right, and Marlo.
I'm Marlo. I play Ariana. And yeah, just murdering people, sometimes other party members, if they deserve it. And, being just a gothic bard, just little emo kid.
And Styx.
Hi, I'm Styx, and I play Thalgris Eventide, who is a Twilight cleric in the service of Shah.
All right. And so, yeah, we're going to rewatch our episode together, and we're going to give commentary. We do have a fourth player that should have been with us but was unable to make it, and that is our newcomer, the Fed, playing the character Velvet. So we'll try our best to kind of fill in the gaps of what his character said and did. But now that we're all together and everyone's introduced to the commentary episode of the Gateway Wars, we're going to start our video, and I guess we'll begin bantering. Though maybe I should have started us talking over this. Hey, welcome back, everyone, to the Gateway Wars.
Actually watched.
Good to be back.
Myself.
How have you guys been?
I know, it's weird.
Exciting. Very exciting seeing ourselves. All right. So, as always, we are a what I do or what I'm looking like when I'm in the game.
I
our
really need to make sure I make
lovely
that
set of players of Marlo, Styx, and Art, continuing as always in their
the decor.
kind of post-medieval apocalyptic future setting. Hey, Styx, where did you get that really cool undead unicorn picture
one of
from?
Our
Is that just
patrons,
a random
like
search?
a warlock unto us.
I usually get a lot of my
providing
pictures from
dice
Pinterest.
Of a high caliber and of a good
I use that a
weight.
lot for
Nice
my own
metal
game when I
dice,
put something up
for rolling when you really need to
for my own
get that
backdrops and
critical.
stuff.
And also found familiar coffee.
Yeah, I just
for when you have those
recently
early
just
morning
started
games
jumping
and you need
into
to, get
doing
them picking
like
up as
green
soon as
screen
possible.
work.
Found
And it's
familiar
been
coffee
pretty
will
fun.
give you that res away from death save. So,
I might start dabbling.
guys.
Thought it might be
Damn.
a nice little
Yeah.
thing to every week just
Everyone
have something
in
showing what we had
between,
happen
had a
in the
very,
previous session.
morbid
So
time last time.
I like that. Brings atmosphere.
So our next time I can put a fog
let's
with
see,
me
you
being
guys
attacked by a bunch
encountered
of
a
bunch of old
undead
ladies.
unicorn-ish creature.
It's gonna be a
I'll
picture.
just go
And
the picture of
had
Aaron
a
not found.
glorific time with it while also retrieving the blade that was.
I was gonna go with a
pierced through its
picture of all
skull to
the
resemble the
Monty
unicorn horn.
Python
had
old women reenactors.
Eventually made your
Oh,
way
yeah.
past some patrols and into
Beat each other with handbags.
past the guards there who assumed that Art and Styx, or Aaron and Thalgris were also crazies because of their
Oh.
Damn, I am cute as hell.
piggyback riding.
Y'all are so welcome.
And Ariana trying to
Told
act
you look
cool
good.
and nonchalant and regular is what made
Yeah,
her
we
stand
needed
out.
feminine charm on this show.
Once inside, they began
Thank you.
traveling the
Thank you.
twisting, winding, meandering convoluted maze of roads between a bunch of ramshackle buildings in this.
Your
district
background
of
almost looks
crazies,
like a beach towel.
Where they tried to find a tavern.
Yeah.
Found a.
It's almost as
like,
wide as one too, which is
Cosmic
very
halfling,
annoying.
Starving
it's
in a
not
corner
small.
of the kitchens.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
It
a
really
bunch
needed to
of,
be like,
let's see, haggard,
I don't know, maybe another foot or two
wasp
wider.
women that were getting a little handsy touchy
When
feely
I
with
first bought my green screen,
Thalgris and
I
Aaron.
ended up not buying enough,
until
and I kind of felt like
Thalgris
that. I was
did a
like
mighty
stretching
roar
to the
and
max
scared them
capacity,
away,
but I was like face
got a
to face
little
with my camera.
hint
Like,
from his
I need
goddess
more room.
when the words Dal Sul were said and all the
Mine I drag out and
people
sits in the hallway
location
while we're not
started repeating
playing,
in
and then I
sync,
have to drag it back into my room because it's one of those ones
over
that's
and
like
over
those
again. As
windscreen
you were whispered,
covers
they
where you
speak.
can fold it up into a round, smaller piece.
Oh,
But it's a
okay.
pain in the butt to do.
Lady dissipates and
I've been
become-
thinking about getting something like that, so you won't see my room anymore.
somehow travel. Also spotting
Keep
some
seeing
sort of
advertisements for
watcher.
the attachments to the back of your chair.
I
to
believe
just
that's
give you
Yeah.
an outline of green.
Any high points that you guys remember that I should?
So this is
I
pretty
should
fun.
include?
I just listening to my own recap there. What are you guys thinking about the whole like the Dal Sul stuff?
It's
No, it's
spooky.
good. Yeah, it's spooky.
trying
I
to
like.
feed
I
them
love
some
it.
Potatoes.
Mm.
Potato?
It
Which
reminds me
were
of something
left
like an
over
old
from, their
sci-fi,
dear
but I can't
friends
think of which one.
Gator and Thalgrim.
Yeah.
So,
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see what
not-
it is.
last we left, you
Yeah,
had
I've
just
tried
spotted with
really,
your
really hard. After watching
ability.
that City of Crazy thing, I'm like, oh man, I gotta like do that, but
Your
like
lady dissipates
more.
and with your vision still in still
Yeah, I pretty much
activating
the last
invisibility,
battle.
could you please
How
roll
did you
me
guys fare? Like
a
you guys didn't
perception
seem to get too hurt, right? It was mostly just encumbersome.
Yeah, so it sort of felt like it just more them getting in the way versus asking taking any real damage or anything. So it's like big bump in the road. They don't want to move forward.
Yeah, I think the only damage I took was magical because nothing was really
Guys,
swinging
I
at me.
mean,
So
they were made by Smash. Who
'Cause I
can't
was
join
up in
us
the air.
today?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here.
Yes, and I think I'm
was
going
it the cone
to.
of cold maybe.
So as you've
I think I'm going to
you're
explain
scanning the area, and you
uh,
just
your
roared, and you're just
upgrade
kind
as
of fed up
just
with how
a secret
unusual
that was
and wacky
bestowed to
things
you
have
that
been.
you don't even know.
Down the road to your right,
That's really cool though.
you
Other than that,
see
you get your wings.
magical layer, a
Ooh,
glisten.
spoiler
that's
alert!
over a person.
Ooh.
Oh, did I just ruin something? Oh,
They
no.
are indeed.
What? What? No, no.
We'll-
To give you a
we'll
description of
cut
this
that
person,
out.
think very Helena Bonham Carter in anything Timber.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so I just heard the name drop. So,
Raggedy
when,
Lady,
this is when you
but
guys,
very
when
intense,
investigating the
you know,
area and
at
dealing
a
with the
glance.
washwomen, the Helena Bonham Carter looking lady,
But
ragged
she
witch
does not
woman,
notice that you
came out
noticed her.
and was getting your guys' attention.
everyone else in the area is still
That was
chanting,
purely instinctual too. There was nothing in it that I thought, oh, I might just throw up
And
see
can I get
invisibility at the end of
a,
the session
a
before.
perception check
And I was like,
from
there was
Ari
nothing in
and
that that was
Aaron
like,
Turnbuckle.
I think you're foretelling there's a hidden thing here. So
And
it
just
was
for
literally
anyone new
like,
at home,
I've got
let
the
me,
spell, why
give a
not?
rundown.
So it was just-
You are a dragonborn.
No,
knight.
that
Would have been
was,
interesting if I hadn't had
Normally
that
of
out.
the runic
Oh
empire?
yeah, no, because like
Of
what
the,
I had
the
done
Black
was I
Dragon
found
class?
the different creature
Uh,
archetypes to use as the different stat blocks for the
Just look
creatures.
at Ariana's
and,
expression.
I was like, oh, there's a lot of like
Then
illusion
we
spells
have
with this person.
Ariana.
It's like, of
who
course they
is
would try to
the,
approach with
fallen Asimar bar,
invisibility, but it'd be really. But I
who
like
has
the
become
dynamic of
kind
oh,
like
but
the
only one
party
person
morality
can spot her.
well, I mean, I don't know.
While
it's kind
everyone
of
else
tough
has to
between
kind of like suffer
you
through
and
it. So,
Thalgris.
like,
It's very odd. Like, you got a very. This is a very family dynamic. And then we
try
got
to
Aaron,
give you the benefit
Turnbuckle,
of like,
who
hey,
is the
like this
half-elf
works in your favor,
monk,
but it was still a hindrance to everyone else.
who is on the search to try to find his missing mother, the general of the once.
Oh my god, I
Gardenian
really need to
Empire
find my
that is
notes. I
supposedly
need to.
maybe
I don't remember my own family's
possibly
name. Like, hey, what's your
somewhere
mom's name? I don't
in
know.
the old city.
I don't know. I
Sorry for all
feel
that
bad. I have
exposition.
those notes somewhere.
So I really need to find those. When I moved over to where I am right now, it all got all jumbled up. I'll find them.
Well, it's very interesting,
You are
like
focused on
how
this
much
Hobbit
screws up
because
without
you
having
do not
Smash here.
know how they're going to react next.
Our spirit of
It needs
knowledge.
all of your attention
Yep.
Because
If our
you don't know
spirit
if
of
they're
knowledge
gonna
will
like
smash
snack
me,
on another bite of potato.
probably
or
would
try
have told me,
take a
hey,
snack
you're
out of
not
you.
making, no one's making noise in the chat. Like,
Art.
she would have been on top of that.
Right.
16.
We miss you.
All right, as you start to look around,
Yeah,
and the chanting.
yeah.
is
Luckily, it's just
increasing.
that she's too busy
You
with
see that
her dice
Thalgris's
commission.
eyes, like,
So,
he turns and he's like,
Nice.
wow. He's staring hard at
that's a good problem.
nothing.
I'll have to see if she can do
And so when
some
you're trying
black,
to look around
black
and
dice
you
with
start
purple
to
tips.
kind of scan the
That-
area yourself,
that would be
you
cool.
start seeing some unscrupulous-looking folk
Yeah, the ones
start
that I
to
had, she actually made a
peer
set for me, and they were
around
really
the
nice.
corners and come out of alleyways
Well,
towards
like
your
I'm so glad you guys like them. Ah! Nothing happened. I'm fine. So this is right when the all the creepy cultists that would tear at themselves start poking out, I guess, and I was just trying to like just give you that big sense of unease
You just,
before
like,
the
you
fight.
just yell help, maybe? What's
It was just funny because we were like so kind of,
Oh yes, one of the
Split?
washwomen, one of the creepy washwomen.
you know what I mean? Like having like
and
inside
as
the
you
building
learn,
kind of
we're
half-ass
going
in
to
the
shift
alleyway,
over
and then them being in the street,
to the battle map.
in the fog initially.
As you can see down here, we have
Like-
a new player on the field. Everyone, can I have you roll your initiative?
Well, especially when you were inside the building, and technically the rest of us
And while
wouldn't
you're
have even been
rolling,
able to
everyone,
see.
this
Right.
is the Fed.
And then especially what happens next.
And he will
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, go for it. Go for it.
And here we got the Fed showed up.
Oh, there he is.
Down
and he
below
will be
there.
joining us.
What's your guys'
during the
opinion
initiative
of
here.
having
He'll be
another
joining the combat immediately.
fictional face?
I just want to know how he
And,
does that, because I kind
do
of
you
want to do that for
remember
myself.
your goal for coming into
Well,
here?
for my own personal streams.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
similar stuff where it's like a lot of like
Okay.
like face tracking
Okay.
apps.
Excellent.
So
Yeah.
then you have your program lock on to different movements of your face, and then it will mimic the movements to the animation you pre-place.
Alrighty.
So it's like all about like triggers.
I don't like triggers.
It almost looks like the animation from the actual D&D game Idle Champions.
Velvet.
Oh, okay, yeah, the
Oh,
flash
yeah,
animation
yeah, yeah.
style.
Yeah,
Here, now he reminds me of Archer.
Yeah,
that's
that
what I
too.
always think
yeah,
of.
yeah.
That too. So it's like a mixture
What would you
between
get for your
both.
initiative?
Because that's how you get ants.
Lana, danger zone.
Oh, the mom died on that recently. I forgot her name.
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
She was also the mom in Arrested Development. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the actress. Okay, I thought the character. Yeah.
But hey, what a career to end on! Like really, like
Trying to get away from me.
started, getting lots of roles near the end of her career slash life.
All right. And
Yeah.
anything for you there, Velvet?
Big sad.
You could roll a physical die, hit a dice roller
Oh,
program. It's
I
all
did
the same
have
way.
plans for these washwomen that were not only just trying to tear and pull down Aaron or anyone they could get their hands on.
They just love me.
I did have plans for them to like also do damage to themselves and cast spells. Don't
The funny thing,
Got a number for us?
I was going to say, the funny thing about their tokens is when they
that-
were lined up together, that when the three of them were together,
Okay.
I actually took a
Sorry,
screenshot and it didn't quite come out on the
Couldn't hear
screenshot, so I
ya.
didn't post
Okay.
it. But
all right. So
it looked like
top of the round, then,
you'd saved
Ariana,
a different photo for each one of them. Like one of them had their mouths closed, the other one
crescendo
was smiling, the
of-
other one
of
had
the
its teeth
screening
showing, and I
of
was
the
like,
name,
"That's really cool." And I was like,
starts
"Hang on,
getting,
they're the same picture. It was just the way the pixels were
where
sitting."
half the-
Oh.
I see that right now. Actually, the one next to Aaron looks like has
Yeah.
wider eyes.
Oh, no,
than, like the one to
yeah.
the right of
like,
them.
try to comfort
Dude.
them.
And the one at the left, it looks
Starts
like its
getting,
eyes are squinting.
Really,
Yeah,
man,
oh,
it
that's
starts, like,
creepy.
crawling
It's
towards
weird.
the screen, there's, like,
It
potato,
knows I'm
like,
gonna punch
falling
in the
off into
face
its
soon.
face and, like, in its trough.
I'm not ruining
And
anything,
yes,
guys. It's just
besides,
he punches things. It's just
yelling
normal.
Dow stool. It keeps like
Gets a little
pointing,
punchy.
like to
You've
your
seen it at
eyes,
parties.
like wanting to get like in your face. It is your turn. And this is also after hearing Aaron Turnbuckle going, help, help.
Oh, that's right.
I love your impersonations of us because they're always spot on.
Perfect.
It's always so good.
Like I want to be able to make my voices as good as yours. It's not there yet. The accent isn't quite there yet for me.
Well, hell no, I love your accent. What are you talking about?
What accent? I don't know.
Like, I love being Gator.
Oh, Gator.
Okay.
I love what you do with Gator though.
Now, is Bane only for auditory, or is it like what's the range?
Yeah, I
on
wanted
that?
to do
Is it
like
sight
like
or
I said,
hearing?
like I earlier in the last episode or episode before, where when you guys showed
Not
up,
as
it's like I
fancy
want
as
to make
your
sure
other
things
spell
are
that,
super
killed
depressing
our
starting out, but
last
then like
guest.
give you a glimmer of hope
Or
by
player.
seeing old relatives doing good in a relatively bad world.
Yeah. That was good.
Very good. All right, so
Okay, Marlo, what
yeah,
are you doing
what are you
here? You're
doing?
gesturing Italiana style.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is when you were trying to work out if Bane would actually hit many.
Oh,
all of
right.
them.
Because it's
Through the
based on
walls.
sight, not sound.
Mm.
Yeah. I was gonna use Bane.
It
But
would
I
have been
ended
really
up,
good.
Did I end up using it or did I use something else?
Oh, yeah.
I think you
failed.
used dissonant
Yeah,
whispers
yeah,
at that
yeah.
point. Instead.
I did, and that's gonna be evident when the next thing happens. Okay.
Yeah, you have a Superman yell of death. Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut.
And as
Is this our
Snyder Cut?
voice,
Watch that yet.
This our Snyder
smash
Cut.
into the halfling,
It's
it
okay.
towers
They
back
just-
into
Yeah.
the
they
form
drag it
as
out.
tight as it can.
Yeah.
It's 4 hours.
It's definitely better than the first
I mean,
cut,
it
in my
doesn't really have
opinion,
a
but
choice
so much
to
of it
go
was in slow
anywhere.
motion. It was like, it got funny after a while to me. Like,
Like, just ignore the prologue thing at the end, or the epilogue.
Yeah.
Ignore the epilogue.
I have yet to see it.
It just
I
gets
know. I
funny.
still enjoy. I know there were problems with it, but I still enjoy some movies just because they're bringing things to life on the big screen, even if they are a bit terrible.
Okay, so
Oh man, Mortal Kombat is very pretty, is very bad script.
Oh, you blast! Just the
I was
way
like, that
and,
first
as-
half of the movie, it was
and blood
really
starts
fantastic. I
just
was like, oh, this is going to be the
starts
best video
dripping
game
out of the
movie.
ears,
And then it sort
eyes,
of
nose,
let me
and
down
mouth.
towards the end. I was like, oh, it was a bit.
Like
Was it the word
Arcana? And it just
No,
it
it was.
just,
It was the
instead of
fact
screaming
that
Dao Sul, it just screamed.
the fights were over so quickly that you were like, okay, well, there's
That's
only
it.
one fight that can happen now, and that was all over
You
super
still
quick
have
as
your
well. It was
movement
like,
and
oh yeah,
bonus action.
yeah, we all saw that coming.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Can't beat the Aussie guy though.
Kano?
I mean, Kano
Yeah.
kind of stole the show.
Yeah.
All right, beauty, eh?
Yes. Yes. You are in the side kitchen. You're.
And there's just something about the
doorway
way,
out of the
you
kitchen is
know,
like a 5-foot.
it's that, like, I would love to get you.
And then like a.
that was a really loud car.
Like,
I get a fast car.
like I'd love to hear Styx curse in Australian, just really harsh. But like, you're very soft spoken, my good sir. So
Yeah, you haven't heard me driving to
So yeah, if you
I, too,
want,
experienced
you can,
the
you
rage
can
of
move to where
road.
you're behind
Yeah.
Thalgris
Ooh.
and Aaron,
Road,
or
not road.
there's also
my journey is my it seems like my work day is getting
close
longer and
to the
longer, and it's
wall
not because of
off to the
work.
side, on the west side.
I spend 3 hours a day in the car now.
Oh gosh.
Yes, if you moved your full 30, you could get to right to the opening on the
Hour and a
inside.
half.
Yeah, I live
Going towards the left.
I live down on the Gold Coast and work in Brisbane, so
To
it's
here.
normally a 40-minute drive, but with traffic, it's like an hour and a half.
Jeez.
Or
And
That's not
you
too
can
bad.
kind of see like
feel
basically
for
like
you,
the
friend.
arm or the corner.
I used to
of
drive
the
farther.
house.
Oh,
Like,
so,
if you
that's-
tried to shoot at it, still it would have.
sorry to jump away
you're
from
going for range.
personal
Sorry, yeah.
stuff. So we have
And
Ariana
any
had
bonus
moved
action
away
from you?
from the insane ramblings of the halfling after you made their eyes, ears, nose, mouth bleed.
All right.
Was
Yeah.
that the-
Orifice.
okay.
Harvey
You
orifice.
can only
Orifices.
cast one spell, or was
Orify?
that or is that
Orify.
Distant Whispers?
Orifices?
Spell-like ability.
Isn't that Egyptian god?
It's funny actually because the halfling reminded me of another character from another popular D&D game.
Oh.
And And I was like, it didn't even have to be a crazy. It could have just been the same character, and it wouldn't have mattered.
Oh, that says a lot about the disposition. Okay. All right. So it looks like. Oh, okay. Well, what are you plotting there, Ariana? What are you plotting?
I don't know what I'm talking
I
about.
think you're reading a spell.
I think.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's not. It's not
Okay,
that.
and that's all. That's
Oh,
all
it was
freaking awesome. Oh, you're using your bardic inspiration thing.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Bardic Desperation or whatever it is.
Bardic desperation.
That's
Yeah.
really cool though.
I always forget to use those things when somebody gives
Yeah,
it to
same
me.
here.
I really need to start wearing my glasses. I'm over there squinting at the screen, like trying to read. Like, that's how blind I am.
I need to get
What-
better with
and
like
Are you doing this to the
just
the half?
hosting. You know, I should have had like markers. Maybe like make a little sideboard
Yes.
on the screen that I can mark stuff like that. Or just learn roll 20.
No, not the, so that
I can give you some tips on it, but I didn't want to like
grab
do it on the middle of the game.
Oh, I wouldn't have minded.
Because you can't actually put little markers on each character if you want to do it that way. So
Yeah.
Yeah, my GM buddy, like I play in a game and he does all of that
so
stuff.
the,
I'm just
the
like,
last thing that
I
happened
don't
was,
know where all
they,
this stuff
they
is.
all screamed and cowered into the nearest corner and just like
My
huddled
facial
there,
expressions
not
just tell a whole fucking
But
story.
it just seems like they're just kind of like
Yeah.
just trying to keep out of the way.
Oh, this is when all the
Except for
washerwomen
the
are
one
still
next
like
to
freaking
Aaron,
out and hiding their
who's got
faces in the corners.
headlock.
Sorry, trying to always like try to bring it back to the game a little bit. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
we,
Right.
I mean, we all BS. That's what we do.
yeah.
I mean, what is role playing but collective
There's a charisma saving
BSing?
throw.
Right.
True. 100% true.
And what do I need to beat?
So.
It does resist.
Okay.
Damn it! Resist your speech powers.
You gotta yell at it harder.
Oh.
Yell at it harder. It's
Let's all learn together. Bard of Nightmares.
part of night.
Does it still take damage or something like that, I think?
I think it was half damage, wasn't it? If it failed.
Yeah, I think it was.
Target suffers disadvantage on its next attack roll, saving throw, or skill check. Target must make a charisma saving throw against your spell save DC or suffer psychic damage equal to the number. I'm half
Cannot
on a
move any
success,
closer
yeah.
to you, and it has disadvantage
Half
on
damage.
Oh, and you feared something.
Half damage.
Is that what it said?
Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds like it.
So
Yeah.
Can't move closer to you.
That's right, because
yeah.
the halfling jumps out
Placing
the
it with
fucking window.
fear.
That's right.
turn.
Yeah. They see it with fear that eats at the mind. Yeah. And there's disadvantage on its next attack roll, saving throw, or skill check. Plus doesn't the other spell make it like move as far away as possible or something like that?
Yeah, you cannot move closer to your.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
the person
starting
that cast
to
it.
see the movement
Yeah.
in the shadows. They haven't had their turn to get their full movement, but
Oh,
yeah, you're
that's the
starting to
in-
see like
that's the
the shadows
invisible
of the
lady.
people
Okay.
creeping around the corners. And basically, you can assume from where you're at, the alleyway here. Oh, well, you won't do it. Why won't it? But the alleyway in the bottom right. And,
I was trying to get that paint where you
it's
click and it
below
like
the
pings
church,
the color, like the
and
little bloop, 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 bloop.
alleyway
The circle.
Oh yeah, you can click and hold,
from where the washerwoman is down.
and if
just
you
holding?
shift,
you can see
yeah,
that
you
there's,
click and
like,
hold and
light
it'll
creeping
ping.
shadows and people are
and
starting
if you hold down shift and ping, it'll actually move everybody to that position on the map. As in, it'll scroll the screen for everybody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's right. Today is not only a commentary episode, but a wonderful learning program by Styx. You too can roll 20 with Styx. That sounds like a great show.
Roll 20 with
Styx.
That is really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know that definitely hits.
Don't worry about dice and bones. Just roll sticks.
I lifted up that log, and under the log there was a stick. And I was like, that log had a
She's
child.
still up. Only two. Like, wait, what? Can't you? I thought. You don't hit harder than that.
Oh,
I know, yeah.
On your,
Okay.
damn.
Oh, my damn.
I'm not gonna lie. It did seem like he
I
didn't very
wasn't
hard.
doing great.
Like for 2 damage and 4 damage, I'm like,
You are
that
at
seems
Yeah.
a bit.
dex bonus.
I don't. I don't. I don't
You're
have
supposed to be
your
doing what, a
damage.
D6 now?
No,
or
D4 still. It's D4 damage.
Your D4, and are you adding your dex bonus? to
Yeah.
it?
Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
What's your dex bonus?
It's really low. Okay,
Oh.
I didn't roll. I did roll. When I rolled him, I got the shittiest, most terrible
Okay,
rolls,
okay.
and most of it was on.
Right. And
And most of it was on my dex, and I put some on strength because I wanted to grapple. I wanted to make sure I have enough strength for grapple, but it wasn't
nice.
significant.
Okay.
So it was like that's why my character's an idiot because I have shitty things, and that's why he can't do anything else. Like cool, I wasn't planning on making him stupid, but okay.
Kind of just getting prepared.
There
staying
is
in
something
your
fun
location where you're
about you your character the wrong stats for the optimal class to see
Yeah.
how someone plays through their their negative traits.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
yeah.
So, I mean, I remember like hearing ridiculous stories in the early days of D&D when things were more fast and loose. Like a story about a character that was a quadriplegic mute, but was 100% telepathic. So it could it could sense danger and tell other players that something was happening. What? What is it? What is it, buddy? I don't know, but be alarmed.
So
So wait, wouldn't you just be able to talk to them through their mind? Just talk.
Oh, it was one-sided.
Oh.
It was like sense thoughts.
Oh.
So you basically
At one point, it was like,
made him aware
Barra!
of other
What?
things. And
Barra! I don't understand.
the
Barra!
Helena Bottom
Balrog?
Carter looking person
Oh no.
all the way behind this decrepit well, and kind of just ducks down and
That would never, something like that would never
looking
fly in a
over
game these days.
and
No.
still
would be
doesn't
like-
notice that you can see her.
I mean, you could play a
She is totally
warlock
oblivious. She
patron
thinks she's
to
got,
the
like,
old ones and
the
get the
drop.
30 feet telepathy.
Let's see here.
Or are you just saying playing a quadriplegic is mute?
I'm just saying like a mute quadriplegic and then that just seems like that sounds like a sensitivity issue all around.
You can see me drawing rulers on the map just to try and work out what's this circle going to hit.
How many can I hurt in one go? I mean, I think that's always my favorite in any type of tactical game. It's just like, cool, I've got this grid I can put on the board. How many of you can I fit inside? Okay, that came out way dirtier than it should have been. I should have thought about what I was going to say before I said it, especially that voical tone.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Yeah, I'm not going to delete that, though, because that
You know, I
was
should've
wonderfully
had, like,
awkward
a
after a previous awkward
spell card
conversation. I'm just awkward, bud. I'm spare parts.
Super spare parts.
Let's see, what are we looking up here? What am I doing?
Like it's usually when I do play monks, I usually focus too much on the punching and not the weapons that I use. Now he's a boxer, but now all he's prioritizing are weapons, so that's kind of
Bone chucks.
yeah,
Okay,
bone
so-
chucks. They barely even got to use.
Hasn't cast anything yet, and she's actually.
You guys will see. You'll see.
Dude, I, you know what? It was just such good rolls. I felt so bad.
That was great.
It's like, all right, they have disadvantage. Why can't I roll below a 15? Like,
And it's at this point when you're waiting
from
on the list to
behind.
have your turn where you got plan A, and then the
and-
player does something and you go, okay, cool, plan B it is, and then the
starts
DM
to
does
skitter,
something, okay,
and
plan
it's like-
C it is. They don't change it again. Because right now I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, maybe that's not going to work now.
Now that I've got both of you in my sight. Now it's
yeah,
both there.
yeah. Keep you
So
guessing.
it's
Keep you
like
guessing.
spider having a web kind of like
I mean,
feeling
that's how I had to kind of
manic,
do
woman.
my thing on
like-
my end of things, man. Like
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
know what players are gonna do.
It's a bit like playing chess, you know?
Yes.
Thinking on the other person's
Yeah.
turn.
Halfling.
Even narratively, that's how I have to work with you guys. At least that's how I roleplay in general. I found like I
and
don't think
jumps
I
out the
could run a module. I don't think I could run a book module.
Yeah.
No, sitting here.
I think it would be too rigid, just because,
You hear
Yeah.
Players are tricksy.
A loud crash.
they're gonna go off script real fast.
and then just wailing, even more wailing and screaming, with a bit of weeping in there.
I did actually watch an episode of
once
Rime
you
of the
get to the
Frost Maiden on
side-
FeatherFall.
Oh,
And it went for like an hour and a half, and I think there was about 20 minutes of
away.
actual gameplay.
oh my!
And you just kind of hear.
And I was just like, this is in 4 episodes in, and I think I had this covered in my Rime of the Frost Maiden
And then the
campaign in
sound-
about the 2nd episode. My players are different though. They kind of know that it's me learning, so they're playing nice.
So this is when the Hobbit,
Oh, this is when he gets snatched, I think.
Yes. So
whatever happened over there.
Oh yeah, whatever happened.
Yeah.
I guess we could reveal it since it wasn't until the end, but that basically the halfling ran around the corner and poof, you heard some muffled, and then they stopped hearing the halfling.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. We didn't like him anyway.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose.
The fact that you were able to guess my miming, I was so pleased.
All right.
I have a child, and so that's probably why.
And here are all of my creepy cultists coming out to play.
Oh.
Nope, didn't want to grab that.
I wonder what that was.
That was an entangle wall for you to home. I did have to burn a lot of spells from the Helen and Bonham Carter person to get. It was
Alright,
that and
so you
one of the
The 3 bedraggled individuals finally come out.
cultists from above and
alleyway.
below had sacrificed a
The
handful
one,
of hit points
center left
to get all those
just
grasping
sprinting,
vines to
just
kind of
full
control
bore,
the battlefield.
carrying
There were
dual
some
sickles
exits
in their hands.
if you went just straight
covered
past
in rags,
to the
and
left,
maybe a makeshift fur hat that doesn't
or
look like it's
even
made
going
into a
into the
hat, but more of
church,
just
or going
fur
straight
coiled
down
around
and
their
then
head
taking
and
one of the alleys. There was a way,
the one from the top
way
left
out there.
comes waltzing out with a long,
I actually was wondering
a-
whether or not
a
the
shovel
well was going to
handle,
kind
but
of come,
with,
come into it with you
scythe
diving
blades
down the well
sticking
or something.
straight up, making a war scythe
I was
out of it.
surprised nothing
Or something
more
coming out
happened
of the well.
with
And
the
then
well. Yeah,
the one
I
closest to you near
should have
the
had someone
church,
fall down
there comes out.
Just a
and,
crazy person, just-
Has
A new warrior runs out onto the field
and
and immediately jumps in.
and a small.
Why? I don't know, it's
blacksmith's
funny.
hammer. More like a smaller jeweler's hammer almost.
Oh, this is where I'm describing them as kind of the outfits that pretty much reminiscent of
the
Resident
one
Evil
on the far
4,
right, that comes clambering
like
out.
Eastern European peasant of
Divine
the
blood,
last
divine
century.
sight, and grabs
With,
at his
sickles
eye
and,
and plucks it out,
small hammers.
and a vaporous.
Oh god, that was
fog
very
comes
stereotypical saying
flowing
sickle
out
and
of
hammer.
its
Didn't
eye.
even realize that. Wow, god, let me just more awkward, everyone. Let me just pain.
Oh no, my bane. Oh no, my bane.
As one of the cultists scratch their
so
face
doing
off
also
and
takes
cast a spell from their
6 points
open
of
eye
damage.
socket. And then me futzing with the controls because I don't know roll 20 that well, but I get it figured out. But yeah, this is Aaron's Bane.
The other one.
Honestly, if another fall cloud comes up and other ones, I'm just gonna have them scream like,
Nah,
fuck.
That one.
I'm just gonna start screaming like, don't let him touch me! Don't let him touch me! Bad thoughts.
There's a game I was in where
You see that
we're fighting demons and these orbs of darkness are falling onto our
gets into, a defensive
players, and so
posture
it's like,
and
they're having
ducks
to fight
down,
in the
cowers
dark, and
behind the
our
rotting
ninja goes,
tree,
"Don't worry, I've got this," and he
between
runs
them
into
and
the orb of darkness, like, "Yeah, he's got blind fight. This will be great." He goes, "I don't have blind fight." What?
Oh, blind sight?
You're the
Oh my
worst
God.
ninja ever.
Ooh, actually, I want to get that. Well, not for this, not for Aaron. It's for a different character, but
Okay.
that'll be so good.
Now we get to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, here's where I start fixing it.
Let me get rid of that there fog.
I was really surprised with like that you guys like kind of very much like consolidated and stayed kind of in the same area, tried to kind of control where you were as opposed to like spreading out or.
I fought the thought. I was like,
So-
he would just run and do something stupid. It was like,
The Fed, it's finally your turn.
It turned out
finally
great.
got a
I think
stronger
it turned out great.
On where your
At this point,
um,
he's got to have some kind of development.
query
You can't just always be that.
is at. And having found out
I've
that,
played
they're
in
the,
ones before where
city
you
of
move away
Crazy.
from combat from the rest of your party,
You knew
and
that
then
you
it
didn't
goes
have
back.
much time,
Yeah.
and it would be safer to try
Yeah,
to
been there,
pull
done
away into the
And not always for you. It goes back for them.
It's like,
Right.
oh,
When you
hey,
start
now
hearing
they're
the
out of
shouting,
reach
the
from your
yelling,
healing
douse,
word,
douse,
and
Yeah.
you don't get there in
the
time.
cult have
No.
found another victim, and they seems to be coming from the same direction as your ping.
Kind of like walking around, or
You
turning your back on somebody
are
with
right
a
up
dagger
here.
with 2 death saves down.
Here is where
having
we
just gotten, through,
finally
the,
introduce
buildings husk.
was it Georges, like gorgeous, George's velvet gray coat, who was like, what the hell are you people doing in Crazy Town?
Oh man.
And pretty much for the descriptor of this character is what the Fed is wearing in the bottom corner there, pretty much.
Yeah, that's how he looks. So a fancy boy with a fancy stick.
You don't even have to. Yeah, you don't even have to roll for that. Basically, the symbol that you have been finding associated with them is the torn eye. It is a vertical slash line over an eyeball symbol.
Oh, the torn eye. That's actually, I kind of want to look
And
into
the
it.
torn
Very good.
eye
Yeah.
came from a sect from Shade Abbey up in the north, and was brought in.
And yeah, did
here,
you catch that
during the
Marlo?
occupation
What's
time
that?
period?
The
of
Shade
last,
Abbey?
10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
To corral the undead that are in the inner districts, and they make
And basically,
habit
yeah, it's
of
like the cult has
building
been brought in
makeshift
from
churches,
like
out
the
of
northern lands where
in
you're
the-
from.
the crazy district to get more followers, more believers.
That's awesome. There's still so much to uncover about Ariana.
Yes. Where
Still so much.
straight down. Alrighty. And are you
Yeah,
guys
there's
moving 30, or are you,
there's some
dashing or anything?
interesting reveals there.
Alright.
And I'm still
I'll get to
like
about there. So
I just
you come
I
running down
feel
and
I have
like,
so,
kinda
I have
come
so
to a
much to
skidding
do
stop
with you
next
guys,
to
but I have to
the,
like torture
hole in
Aaron
the
first
wall.
in this first part for his hero's journey. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, Aaron. But yeah, I've gotta.
That
Oh my
Trying to
God.
forge you in this first arc, because usually
And,
like in
Ariana,
the
as,
band of characters,
as
it's
you're-
always the
you're
one that's
staying there and you're like, what the
most
hell happened with
green
that? And you turn around
you
and
kind of end up
getting to a stop
following.
right in front of you is
Mm-hmm.
describe yourself.
Is that why my circle? Is that why my circle's green?
Perfect.
Actually, I just chose that because you're an elf.
That was the best
specious,
description
I know.
I've ever heard.
How dare you? I thought it was because I work with trees.
Yeah, like an elf.
Maybe that's why my character's mom was so into his dad.
Well, that's the funny like juxtaposition is that your father, the human, a manly man who's like out in the woods, being a lumber guy, and somehow the elven woman's just like, I'm okay with this. Also, I think Harry is hot, and also, cities are kind of my jam. It's like what?
Kind of relatable though.
So we got it looked like the Fed brought his character down, and that's when like he first like spots you, Ariana, and you guys have a little discourse.
Yeah. Basically, he's like, "What are you guys doing here?" Or like, "What's going on here?" And we're like, I don't have any idea. These people are just totally out of their gourds, and this is, happening.
Didn't you say something like, "Are you crazy?" And he's like, "No, I'm not," or something like that. Like,
Yeah, it was something along the lines of like, I don't know, are you one of these crazy people or something like that? And he was like, well, I mean, I don't know, you don't think so? Like,
Now,
he
just to
gave
let you know,
a
the
very
person you
like
see
a
directly
reasoned
south of
response
you
of
is
some
invisible.
kind. It's like,
Unable
yeah,
to
even if
see.
you admitted to being crazy, you're definitely smarter than the rest of these.
Right, something like that.
I love how he has a cigarette.
Okay. Whoa, his head shrank.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice
Yeah,
that?
it gets bigger when he like does certain things.
Oh, is that him inhaling and exhaling the cigarette? His head shrank? Ooh, that's an unusual effect.
Let's see. Is there a range on the unseen servant?
I love
Or would
that.
you like
Unseen
for?
servant never uses them.
That's right. You just say that the whole time.
He's just like, I made a support wizard.
10 feet in front. Okay. All right.
And that's where I was like, okay, the fairy fire that I'm doing in a second is just going to be, okay, does that affect the unseen servant? Because does it make it a seen servant?
Make a silhouette servant.
This little archer person is your unseen servant.
What?
Here's a generic token from Roll20.
Now, I don't mean to spoiler alert, but did that unseen servant do anything?
No, it stayed right there the whole time.
Or anything else.
He didn't order it to do anything. Like, I was hoping he was going to, like, ask it to, like, pick up a piece of debris like a plank and try to wave the smoke away or something. Like,
Yeah.
something create. I was expecting something weird,
basically
you
it's like,
know?
Hey,
Right.
those people I'm supposed to find are here. And now there's the screaming of the damned. Oh, that's not a good sign.
So he was supposed to find us, but I don't think we ever found out
And
why he was looking
Thursday
for
was
us.
No.
I think we got too off at
Yeah,
our
we're
own.
just busy. We're
And
just
I
busy
don't,
fighting.
I don't think he ever actually revealed that part. Like, it's something I think
No.
I spoke about when I was like, hey, you're,
Yeah.
you know, what you're, I think I said you're quarry, which shouldn't have sounded so menacing, but it basically is like, hey, the kind of the folks you're looking for are down here.
Right.
Sane folk are down here.
And he hasn't revealed that. If he hasn't revealed that, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that because we have conversations later on.
When they're,
This is,
go for it.
I was going to say, this is the moment when I'm literally looking at you at the same time going, am I doing something at the wrong moment to do
Right, so you
this?
go
This is
straight
when
up.
Just to get a reaction from you?
Newfound flight.
Yeah, because I was.
This is the...
It's like,
Land
I get
on
this
the
message. Hey,
corner.
I found this little side ruling thing of like a possible like different trait I could
As
take
you,
instead of the standard one. Is it
perch
okay?
like a gargoyle
Yeah,
on the
sure, we
corner.
can work
You
that
see
in.
Ariana
I reveal it in the
having
middle of
a
combat.
conversation.
Yeah,
My
cool,
first turn.
done. Sure, we'll work with it. Like I'm gonna roll with the punches, man. Because I didn't know when you wanted to do that, so I was gonna be like, all right, maybe on your next level up, or
I didn't actually know when
You
either.
cut out. But here now you can.
But I'll say that yeah, when you saw your mistress
Oh.
last, after she
See,
did
and
like
the
the whole
radius
like
is very fine.
they speak of the first, did the whispered finger to the
okay,
mouth, and
okay.
then
So,
horror movie shunted
the,
away and then disappeared into light.
The Helena Bonham Carter, the
Like that was when she
the psycho on next to
told
the
you a secret that you
well,
didn't hear.
Hmm.
and the washwoman up at the top.
I mean, I kind of at the same time also felt it was a little bit of a how do you put it? It's almost like when you
Yeah,
play a
actually,
video
right.
game and you get to like the next level. It was a little bit like that. In the different stages he went through from following blindly to his
Yeah, go ahead
god,
and read up an unseen
and
servant
then
while that's happening.
questioning.
But yeah, it looks like you do
and it was like
peg everyone.
this is the
except
effects
for the,
Right.
of
the
making
extreme
that
left
challenge.
and extreme right
Oh,
cultists.
So-
do you have an idea of
but, like, the,
why she
the-
was upset at you?
Washwoman.
No.
3 washwomen in the center of the map are.
I mean,
working.
she has
And,
obviously
yes,
she obviously
then all
has a
of sudden,
plan.
This purple flame that are dancing.
But I think
start
in his
dancing
mind,
around
he's like,
and
well,
silhouette a figure
you're
that
upset at me for
you
not
could
being
not see
around and
before.
for disappearing for what seems to be a long period of time.
Well
But
played,
surely, if you're a god, you should know what happened.
Okay.
Right.
That is the very question that that should be asked.
Right. So,
Yeah, so, like,
in
you
summation, what we're talking about here
There'd be a
is
very
the
fire
fact that
dancing around
Thalgris
this
sprouts
silhouette.
wings and starts glowing
Yeah.
and flies up
Very
onto
well
this
could be
roof,
mistaken
right?
for another
Yeah,
invisible
yeah.
person.
His scales turned slightly
so we're gonna go
purplish
back to
at
the
the
top of the
tips,
round, and Ariana.
and he sprouted these membranous blackened wings, and then your breath weapon became force energy.
Correct. Yeah.
That's really cool.
So he became our.
So yeah, he kind of has a
Make an
momentous like
Arcana.
gargoyle style like wings
Because
come
he
up.
did cast a spell at the end of his 30-foot movement, so you might have seen him
dun,
do
copyright.
the somatic components or whatnot.
And I think it's important to note here that none of us saw him
No.
fly up there.
Yeah, you,
So
were
we
in the
don't know
smoke
that
when
he
you
even
did that.
has.
You
Yeah,
yeah.
we don't even know that he
Yeah.
has the wings, and I'm like half-ass inside the building.
in
Oh,
that
yeah.
Then he
forward
lands
direction.
roughly above you.
But whether
Right.
that unseen
across the
serpent
alley.
is the
Right.
product
Very
of the spell or
gargoyle-like.
not, undetermined.
Yes,
Yep.
it's so cool.
By the way, Disney, talk about remakes and remasters. Give us a live action of Gargoyles.
That would
I
be
hear
cool.
that freaking Get Out director has been interested in doing it. Is it Key or Peel? I can never.
Uh,
I think it's
He-
Key.
is
it Key?
Jordan
Jordan Peele. I thought you were no Jordan
Jordan
Peele.
Peele. Jordan Peele.
It was Jordan Peele. Okay.
Jordan Peele. I have to put their first
Not
names with it
Keegan
because that's
Michael
if I
Key.
don't. Yeah. Yes, I have to put their first names with it every time because I don't remember by their last names. But yeah.
Did you ever hear about it's like, hey, are you ever excited
And
about your
she
old
snaps
comedy partner
and,
putting you in a
like,
movie? And he goes, oh hell
like,
no!
stares
I had no
daggers at
idea he
you.
was so dark and scary.
And then,
I don't
like,
ever want to be in any of his
whispers, like,
movies.
the visage of frustration and annoyance, being caught. And then when she looks at you, her face kind of drops. And give me an insight roll.
No, this one she realizes, oh, you can see me.
And you would think a cleric would be
there's a
wise
look
and
of
be able to tell
surprise,
people's
and
things,
then
but I didn't roll very well, if
almost
I remember
hunger.
correctly.
Human faces, especially dirty, crazy ones.
Desire.
I mean, there's nuance in the
'cause-
scale, but I mean, humans are just too expressive.
Because similar to Aaron, I rolled a couple of really good stats and then a couple of really bad stats. So Thalgros really shouldn't be that clever either. And he is terrible at charisma. So
So this is when Ariana sees the Helena Bonham Carter lady and like yells at her, like blows her cover, right?
Oh, this was after the fairy fire, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you flew up to the top and fairy fired, and then you're like, oh, you!
I see ya.
Give the washwoman a turn.
and then
Oh, I forgot to give the washwoman a turn.
oh yeah.
Oh.
And then it begins.
Here comes the pain! Dun, 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 dun.
The cloud of daggers, cloud of daggers.
Oh, yes. Ariana's Cloud of Dagger she cast right on her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cloud of Daggers is the one that fills up one 5-foot square, correct?
that's actually really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
skill.
yeah.
One of my favorite things is having someone cast that spell and then having a grappler. That person just grabs a person
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
then
only
just
25 feet
holds them in place.
If I was actually kind of my plan originally to do that, but I was too
That's,
busy
dex
getting
saving throw,
manhandled.
they'd heard about your endeavors.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted more of your pocket sand after they stole some before.
I'm hoping that's all they wanted.
Oh,
Oh, I just take it. Oh!
You just take it.
just
Take
take the
Roll that
damage.
beautiful bean footage.
That skill always.
I'm not gonna lie, when I actually saw the creature where the
Oh, man,
halfling
yeah, you
was,
just
that's still
bypassed
there
a
on the
bunch of
map,
stuff
I
by
was like,
doing
this
that.
looks like
Alright.
the girl from The Grudge.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see it. Oh, God. I forgot I left that old marker there.
Alright.
Did you ever see the original Ju-On?
So,
The original
you
Grudge?
Pop around the corner.
No, I haven't. I have to watch it sometime.
No.
Spoilers?
Ah! And you just start spinning your hand
Does it hit different?
these notes, these song notes start forming, and then they start becoming serrated.
The ghost
and
is
they start forming
the
in
bad
the air and
guy.
start spinning. And there's these
It's more like a warning.
music notes.
Oh,
now
so it kind of like
flipping
Silent
in the
Hill in
air,
the sense where like
in her
these
position, and
things
she
that
just starts getting
are happening
sliced
because
to
of
ribbons,
something that
and
you
there's
did.
like bits of
And
like
they're just
hair
kind of
and
teaching
you know,
you your
bits of like rags getting cut up as well, and flickering here and
And
there.
there's a great time paradox story because it's like 3 or 4 different
Any
short
movement or
stories
bonus
all
action?
thrown together about the same house.
Ah.
So we had the whirling bladed notes sing to life as the blade of daggers, cloud of daggers, sliced up a Bonham Carter.
Give me a quick perception check.
It always makes me think of Kung Fu Hustle. Oh,
That's a wonderful movie.
I
Stephen Chow is a genius.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's above you, but you don't know it.
Shaolin Soccer, close second.
Yeah, it's alright.
Okay.
So like it, but
I don't. It's so weird to watch myself talk because I'm just like
Because I missed
so
the turn
expressive
last
or like
time,
so
I
like
rolled them to
serious.
initiative, and
Like-
they have a 17, so they're gonna go before turn one.
Why so
Sorry, my friend.
serious?
Yeah, I feel like you got
The
right into
washerwomen
character in this episode.
Are actually
Yeah.
You wanna know how I got these scars? I got ganged up on by washerwomen. I mean, look at me. Look at me. You see, the thing about magic and healing is that it's cheap.
So
I
the,
literally
the
just watched
washwomen
Dark Knight
start,
like before doing this with you guys.
They all turn, and then they all start converging onto the smoke.
And I just watched the last episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
And
Oh,
when they're
watch
in
him,
there,
Captain
they
America.
are,
So good.
Going to try to grapple and manhandle you.
So
So the
yes.
first one is
Just
going
co-
for
just
a
shower-
grapple.
shower
Give
me.
me a acrobatics or athletics
For everyone at
check.
home, it's just every turn. It's just them grappling him and then pulling him to the ground and then clawing at him for no damage, just continuing to keep him down.
But I feel like because he was like on the other side of that building,
So,
we like
the one you
weren't
had in the
even paying
headlock,
attention to what was happening to
And
him.
you like let go.
We were like so
You know,
focused
like,
on the
I'm,
things
you
that we
know,
could
gonna
see.
move on and pull
You
his
know,
own stuff.
we just like
And then the
we're not
pause,
helping him.
And you're like
Yeah.
disoriented.
And I think
and
that's
then
a
you just
fun
feel, like,
fun thing to do though
just
too, because
grabbed
like
around the
as a
waist,
player you're
all
seeing
the
it
weight
and hearing everything going on,
on
and you're
your
like,
back.
hang on, he's not taking any damage,
as
so he's
you
still
are
fine.
Yeah.
now, like, grappled as she like wiggles.
And the fact that I kept like making them like
She,
it's like, oh, one
wiggles
grapples you,
around,
one pulls you to the ground,
and,
another one covers your mouth to keep you from yelling from
and
help
get-
for
and
help.
Gets you
Right.
from behind. And then she starts to
the triangle
starts
of
to
death. Not even death. The triangle of not being able to do
going from
anything.
here. And she starts to try to pull you away from the building. Dragging, kicking,
Why do these women want me so much?
And she pulls you further into the smoke. Sorry, probably right. Yeah, right there. Sorry.
I ask myself that same
So as
question.
one
all
grabs
the
you
time.
and starts deeper into the smoke, two more hands grab at you. One tries to attack to knock you back. Also, once again, give me an athletics or acrobatics check.
The way they were dragging you, I thought you were going to burst out into a "Take Me to Church" song.
Alright, so you feel you feel that as you're being dragged, you're then suddenly pushed, and you feel that someone had kneeled down behind your legs, like classic schoolyard prank, and did not work. It's kind of like just
That would have been funny if it did, though.
I know.
and avoid
Man,
it.
seeing that happen to
Um,
adults is like it makes me laugh like
And,
nothing
the-
else.
the
I don't
last
know
one
why.
also will
Like
attack
seeing
to knock you
seeing
down.
schoolyard tricks
And one more
done in
athletics
real
or
life because no one
acrobatics.
expects it, like in a fight.
Right. Right.
And I think that's as a DM moment, you would have been sitting there like so happy
So they just
because
start- they just
when
start
you
to
set this up
dogpile you,
and he
it's
keeps
like,
rolling 4s and 6s as his disadvantage
Think
rolls,
of Monty Python
it's just
Holy
like,
Grail.
yes, it's working.
Like
I
a
was
bunch
giddy.
of those type of like.
It's horrible.
Like for
Because
once,
there's nothing worse
yeah.
when you set something like that
Clambering
up and then
over
they
you
pass
now,
it on the
clawing at
first roll and get
trying to,
out, and you're
like,
like,
pull
oh
at
yeah,
your
cool.
clothes,
At the way-
Yes.
you know, pull
I
at your
spent
pouches,
20 minutes
like,
working
I
that
was
together.
so
Yeah.
many key points to try to get out of this. So many key points. I was like literally down to my last key point. I was like, oh, cool, I'm free now. It's like
Yeah, I honestly, the only thing I had really
last
planned was I was going to have them
that
run up and
is
help
underneath
flank
Salgris,
and do the aid
attempts to
action.
move
Was
into
the
the
only like
alleyway.
real thought I
And
had.
does the
And then
unseen
like as I
servant
brought
actually
in
have,
like the
a
late stage
physical
stuff, like okay,
presence,
I'll
or
bring in
do-
these like
can people walk through?
these cultists that hurt themselves and cast spells. It's like let me look at the spell list that these cultists have. And it's like or what I can't remember what archetype because I just pulled a monster manual and tried to find something with the proper CR levels and just reskin it. But it was like, one of the spells is, fog cloud. Huh. Yeah, this will be fun. Let's see if this works.
Okay. But basically, it
So thank you
it
for
moves forward
succumbing
and it
to
sees
my
the,
machinations.
The flickering
Bwaha,
purple
bwaha.
flame that are dancing around the
yeah,
silhouette
so
of
far like,
what's
this is
not
one of
there.
my favorite
And
combat
and she
interactions.
tries to like
because
grapple
it's
and
just
grab it
felt like
at
utter
nothing,
chaos.
and she
At least for me.
lurches forward
At least for me.
Yeah.
and falls.
Yeah, because I
forward.
mostly just wanted this to feel like a
So, yeah,
hairy
she tried to grab onto what
experience,
she thought
like,
was someone there,
just,
and just
like,
falls over. and face
you don't know
plants.
how many of these people are in the area. How many of them can do culty magic stuff? Like, yeah, they're not doing a lot of damage, but like you've used up all your key points already, and it's like people are like
All
using
right,
their abilities to
turnbuckle.
spell. So I'm trying to whittle you and trying to like make you feel like uncomfortable.
You are grappled and you are pinned, so you are unable to stand
Besides
up
my
because your
regular
movement score
awkwardness.
is 0. If you try to attack, you will have.
I mean, I was definitely feeling that
disadvantage
when we
on your
were
attacks.
underground,
At disadvantage.
running out of spell
Oh,
slots.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I was so proud of all of you for just like, no, there's no time to waste. We need to keep hunting. We need to keep digging. We need to keep like trying to find them in time. We're not resting. I was just like, okay, like they're I had a timetable for how much how many hours you could rest before I was like, all right, and when they find his dad, he's dead. Like he's one of the undead. Like it was just that's what I planned. And depending on how story went, when you guys pop out, it's like, okay, cool. Now you're gonna have to find your mom, and your mom will be cool. But now that it's like, oh no, you guys powered through. No, you save him in time. Nope, I'm gonna reward that. You guys
With the
took it to the limit.
bright eye.
see, even the DM rewards killing a player.
Right, because you've given yourself advantage in a regular roll. That definitely misses.
I mean, you did the right thing.
Yeah. I think so. I just.
Okay, you hit once. Go ahead.
It's one of those things that now it's a thing.
And who do you?
You know,
hit
like
when you
trademark
hit this one
TM thing, capital T. Like, because it's
There's
gonna.
one grabbing you.
Well, we'll get there because we're gonna talk about that.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
comes up
Well,
later
we
on.
do
So
too much
one's
spoilers
grabbing
on that.
you.
Yeah.
One is like.
It gets
is,
interesting. We'll leave it at that.
next to you, the one who just pushed you down.
Yeah.
And those two are definitely are actively actively engaged in manhandling you and fighting you. And the one that missed you on the second attack. is still
I just
standing
enjoyed
there,
watching here as well. You
only within
as
reach. You
every
totally
turn
get
came
no
around to
problem
you,
because
and you were
they're
just
not,
losing
as
more and
actively on
more
top of you.
like joy.
It's like, shit.
The one that grabbed
Your
you,
face,
that's-
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I might try this. No.
Aw.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll try this.
Don't get that face wrong. I still really enjoyed. I still really enjoyed it. It's just.
No, I know.
Yeah. The positive is you kept them all busy while we could kind of take out some more of the threats and things like that.
Yeah.
True. I'm just a little kid.
Yeah,
man. I'm just a little kid.
Okay, so give me So who are you hitting with the first hit?
Yeah, the silver lining. Like,
Or the
yeah, you kind of were taken out of the combat, but yeah, I mean, you distracted up to 3 washerwomen,
Right.
which would have been granting advantage left and
Um,
right to the
go
other
ahead and roll the
characters
damage.
because as they run up and
Yeah.
run out of spells, and then
Yeah,
just
that's actually
start
true.
whacking.
Yeah, it really allowed us to bottleneck them in this sort of alleyway,
And how much damage?
which
was
is
it?
why I stayed there. It seemed like a more of a
4.
bottleneck
All right,
position.
so
Well, then, having Falgris above,
and you elbow, and you just hear
as well,
a wet
anyone who gets
crunch
in that little nook.
of a nose.
Right.
Ah.
and the arms that were grabbed around you slacken and let
Were
go.
we
That's
giving-
the fun thing about playing a character who can heal, though, is like you always want to keep that last spell slot open for heal just in case.
Right.
Because it's like you never want to use that last spell.
Were we giving the people affected by fairy fire a advantage? Or when we attacked
still with
them?
disadvantage?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Did you get advantage when you
you
go to
guys
hit him?
had advantage on the ones
okay.
that were
Yeah.
affected.
Right.
I don't think we actually did too much like roll
I got
and
lucky
attack
when I
to
rolled
get
the
advantage.
roll
I
with
think
the
we did a
fog,
lot
I
of
had
spells and
disadvantage
stuff
as well.
against them.
Yeah,
There's also a
that's
lot
true.
of cancellation, like, it's like there's the ones in the fog
18.
cloud, and so there's disadvantage,
Yeah.
but then you granted advantage, so it's only like a straight
Okay,
roll.
so,
and
you
so it's
Right.
like
dispatched
a lot of
the
just
one that had
straight
initially,
rolls because of balancing
grappled
out
you.
with
You are now free
buffs
from
and
grapple,
debuffs.
so you do have a movement
Right.
score.
Yeah.
At the beginning of your next turn, you do have
once
the
again that
option
chess.
of,
Ooh,
getting
play,
up.
counterplay. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh no, go ahead.
Is this the moment where I sacrifice my queen, or?
Okay.
Have you
okay.
guys seen Extreme Chess?
Right,
No.
and if,
No.
if something is caught in fairy fire, it gives advantage, and then if they're
Ah,
in
looks
the
like he's
fob,
doing
they
the
have
Gruber
disadvantage, so it
maneuver.
becomes a straight roll.
And he's now caught
And
his.
you already in straight. So
His horse is now. Oh,
yeah,
that's
if
right.
you
He's
wanna
added a
make
horn. It is now a
that last
unicorn.
roll
The rook is
a
now
straight roll
inverted.
instead of with disadvantage.
Let's see. Check, two pair, and a Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, so
I think I have seen this.
What's
This
this?
sounds really
Oh.
familiar.
It looks
Well,
like
they're
he's
covered,
taken
thank you.
all. The white player has taken all of his pawns and made a giant Megatron.
Just to know, they have AC 11. These are just peasants.
Peasants.
AC 11.
Oh look, there's some lovely filth over
you hit
here.
for
Oh,
7? Yeah, no,
how do you
she-
do?
She also.
And as you say, AC 11, that's when Velvet sits there and shows his jealousy.
Action and fodder.
These watchwomen have a better AC than I do.
But, okay, but
Well, that's funny because we realize right around this point that he has no like offensive spells.
oh yeah,
He's giving
he has
himself no offensive spells.
at all.
Lady down here.
He has something serious.
Yeah, I told him that I was going to put him into like a combat scenario. Like as soon as he showed up, he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I already picked
She's
my
going
spells,
to just
so
move into the
I'm like,
unseen
okay.
servant space, and is going to cast. Oh, that's right. She takes another 44. Go ahead and roll me that damage as she tries to flee from her
What kind of damage?
Julian frying.
Such a good spell.
Nice.
That sounds like it's a lot of damage, but I can't hear what you said.
it was 44 worth. We know that.
Okay. Yeah. So once again, with the hair and the rags, now there's definitely more blood that's now starting to split away from her.
Thanks
as she
for the
then just
morbid
flees,
info,
just
creep
freaking
stick.
out,
Oh, that's
just
me.
running right towards you.
Those little details are really cool though.
I want to paint. I feel like I don't paint enough of a word picture, and I'm trying to work on it.
It's one of those curses as a DM. Like in my last session, I totally missed an opportunity to do some extra detailing,
Okay.
and I'm gonna have to go back to it at some point. I don't remember what spell you were casting here.
Oh,
Is this
oh,
like-
this is.
Burning hands.
Was this the one? Oh, wait.
I think it was maybe.
Okay. Thalgris.
Yeah, because it was a cone.
Velvet.
And I was like,
and,
oh, I can get all three.
Ariana, can you? What is your current hit point total?
Oh, it was sleep.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah, sleep spell.
Which is pretty decent low level spell, but once you get higher up there, it's. Ugh.
Especially if you've got a character that's got any sort of con.
Mm-hmm.
19 con.
And how many do you have, Velvet?
Oh yeah, that's right. I just put him right to sleep.
Hit points. How many hit points do you have? It's like, hey, I'm the
Okay.
weakest little baby. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
yes, you are. Good night.
Cool. Great session.
Night,
Glad
night,
you
little
could be
baby.
here. Bye. Oh, okay.
And I'm not kidding you. When you actually were talking about the sleep spell, I'd already had a plan to cast Aid, so I was like, damn it, I missed my opportunity.
Oh, no!
Fill him in.
You do look like you're all enjoying
I mean,
yourself.
So like right now, I'm trying devising what I want to do. I'm just like, okay, what am I gonna? What the heck am I gonna do? What the heck?
That's what I was talking about. Is you just sitting there going, okay, I've got to roll better than this to get out. And then,
Concentration.
It's like, gotta get out of this fog.
Like, what? Monsters? Fungus? Wolves?
So-
None of that scares me. There's 4 old women crossing the street. Oh, fuck.
So it's the irrational fear, like
this
oh lady.
really sucks, and I'm sorry.
Old lady
She
attack!
runs up and hits you
No!
all with color spray.
Just imagine when he
And
finally
only
meets his
the
mom.
Fed is affected
Oh, it was a
with the
color
low
spray,
end.
not a sleep.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think I
You
actually
are
used
blinded.
Illusionist for her base.
And you can't see and automatically
Yeah.
fail any ability checks that
And that's
require
right, he gets
such.
Yeah,
blinded.
the
When
blood
attack
spray.
rolls
Right?
against you have
So we had
advantage,
2 characters
and your
practically
attack rolls have
blinded right now.
disadvantage.
What a debuff. How long does it normally last? The blindness.
I think it only lasted the
I'm
one
not that
turn.
mean. I mean, I'm a little mean. I'm not that
Yeah,
mean.
I think it was. Yeah.
All right, just want to double check.
Verdict is.
So the wizard with no AC and no offensive spells is now blind.
And so,
Glad you came along. You brought a lot to the party.
what was it? What did you said? It was AC was 11.
I don't know. It's got to be something low.
I think it's like 10 or 12.
Here, let me throw you into combat first
If it's
round.
12, he's got a higher AC than I do.
That's probably 10.
Okay.
I'm a
Alright, so
squishy
make
boy.
note. I need to.
So it only says it lasts for 1 round.
Get you guys some
So,
more magical gear here soon. Though
Not
you
the
might
worst.
have some. Who knows?
Or is
You'll
that
have to
just how
get that
long it takes?
identified or
Because-
something.
Yeah,
Oh, I
duration
do
1
have
round.
that
So, yeah,
necklace.
you're only,
You
you're
know,
only
I'm
blind
gonna
for 1
blame.
round.
I'm gonna blame me getting stuck in the
But
fog
against
on
the
the
wizard, that's
necklace
still
I
pretty
took.
powerful. So yeah,
Wait,
she
say
runs
that
up
again?
and casts
I'm
that.
blaming the
And
me
the way
being
she does-
stuck in the
she-
fog,
she-
so like
she
as
runs
an
up
in-character thing,
and,
because it took
she-
the little
she
girl's
just,
little dead
like,
girl's necklace.
Takes like the edge.
I mean,
of
it
her
is
eyelid
cursed.
on her
I
lower
mean,
eyelid
or
and
is
just,
it?
like,
Or is it? Yeah, I don't know. Like he
to,
doesn't
like,
know. He
the
might.
bottom of her cheek.
Like,
Not taking out her eye like the
this
other.
would be a fun
fanatic,
way to like
but
figure it
just,
out.
like,
Like,
cutting into the orbital socket. And that's where
Yeah.
a streak of just red light.
Well, we
sort of
have
shines out.
the
And,
items we got
like low
from
pan and big little
the
Chinese-
professor,
And just,
and I was gonna use it, but they're all these people were insane. So I was like,
and
will that
when
work,
happens,
even?
yeah, what did you have?
You notice that the
it's goggles.
when
They're
you
like
all-
eyes of
all
or
kinda
like glasses
covered
of
in eye, but
charming.
when you kind of look at her now, she seems to be kind of wavy.
Yes,
like
you
she's not
could have,
all
but
in
they
one
would have.
spot, like
I believe.
like if someone had like 800 cups
I
of
can't.
coffee.
I think
there's
it's
kind of
either
a-
the Helen
a
Bonham.
blur
Oh no,
shape
it's
of
the actual
themselves.
cultist, not the Helen Bonham Carter or the washerwoman, but the actual cultists. I believe were either immune to charm or had advantage against charm because of their devotion to master.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happened? Oh no, what happened?
Uh,
I cackled.
okay, so
We all laughed.
okay, it's the halfling's turn.
Oh, the halflings. Okay. And his little adventure.
Oh.
So that was the halfling's turn.
Live a little off-screen adventure.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't know what happened to it.
I think that's when he rolled a 1, and it was just like
Okay,
further entrenched
okay.
into it.
Now it is the 3 cultists' turn.
That should be a whole series. Just figure out what happened to that little guy the whole time.
One crazy halfling.
So this one runs up
Oh,
here
this is Mr. Fire.
and doesn't give an F about her in front of him and casts
Yeah,
Burning
yeah.
Hands.
That's right. Because suffering for their master is a form of prayer.
Isn't that flagellation?
Self-flagellation, yeah.
So they're...
Usually depicted with like the cat of nine tails
What's a
swiping on the
cone?
back.
Yeah. Right now it's just a big old hole in the fire. It looks like past you like the joke.
Okay, so would the three of you?
I don't remember, but I
Make a
think
dex
maybe
saving
Velvet was
throw.
talking about having joined this party and immediately dying or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
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 Yes, because you are blind. You have disadvantage. I've come to help. I've come to
Exactly.
We're just a cursed party. That's what it is. You can't bring another person in or they will die. That's what it is.
Oh my god.
But will one of you kill him?
Yeah, I mean, I said die. You know, like,
Thalgris?
die 'cause murdered? Maybe.
By who?
Murder? Question
Hey,
mark?
Murdered?
and also, since you're new,
Murder?
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Like,
you guys all have.
I'm a murderer?
If that becomes a thing,
I think
people are
it's
gonna
the
be
beginning of
kind of
every
upset. Why do you guys
session.
keep killing
You get
off the new
one
guys? I'm sorry.
Inspiration free reroll.
I'm sorry.
Just to be a benevolent dictator.
Yeah, I think this was the only moment I actually took
Just
damage
gonna
was
offer
from the
that to
burning
you
hands.
guys.
Yeah.
I think I rolled a 5.
Hey, yeah, because you're more of a heavy armor user, right? Or are you a medium armor user?
No, I'm wearing chainmail, so heavy.
Heavy, nice.
Heavy boy.
That does make the same.
Yep. An 18 in strength and a 19 in con, so...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what about you, Thalgris? You just gonna take it?
Gonna take it.
You did get me just down to just above half, though, by the end of this, I think. Actually, I must have taken something else.
Oh, all right.
Everyone take 8 damage.
I think it
Those
was
that
another hit,
save,
actually.
Take 4.
Oh, I think I hit you later on with one of the color sprays.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. You feeling all right? You
Oh,
feeling okay?
was it
Feeling
a
all right?
lightning bolt or something?
Okay.
Can't remember.
All right.
We'll find
all
out.
Cool.
Oh, I hope.
Hey, are you guys wearing anything up?
Always love those questions.
I feel so
ahead.
bad for the Fed.
It's up there with, does a 32 hit?
That's true.
One thing I love, I haven't done it to you guys. I probably won't, but one thing I used to do to my party is like,
Yeah,
all
you're
right,
fine.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
reach
you're-
and grab it.
you're definitely
Which
fine.
hand?
I mean, I
They're
did
like,
not
"Wait,
see
what?"
Sticks naked. I'm just gonna
Like no
point that
reason,
out.
but it makes you question.
I did not see Sticks naked.
There's a lot of stuff in that part of D&D with combat and holding weapons and switching
okay,
hands and stuff
the-
that is actually really clunky to try and remember as a player.
So the way I think I've got it, because even I question it, is that
Alright,
you
and
have
then this guy
you have your regular,
goes running into the fog.
you have your attack action, you have your move action, and then you have your free draw, or stow an item, kind of free action, or a minor action. And
Aaron,
then
roll a perception
dropping
check for me.
an item is completely free. So if you're holding something, you can just let go and drop it, and it costs you nothing. That's why I see a lot of people will be like, I'm using this weapon, and then I hit the guy, and then I'm going to drop my weapon, and then I pull my two-handed
so 14,
weapon.
You
And it's like,
hear
okay, well,
a-
yeah, you can drop for free. You can get one free draw. You can totally do that in the middle of the fight.
sound that could only be described as
Which one of our guys used to do. He was
shucking a fish.
He was even a dual wielder, and he would run up with a giant anchor and do a big old
You hear
charge
kind of
attack
a-
with it
a-
and
a-
smash
a
it
kind of
down, and then
gross
let go, and then
snapping,
pull out his
slapping,
dual wield weapons, and
shucking
then fight
sound.
the rest of the fight that way. But he'd always come in with one big crashing attack.
Oh,
in the
and
beginning.
just as you guys note, the guy who did burning hands on you, he is now missing his hand, as it is just a charred blackened husk, like just
Such a cool
skeletal
description.
bones now in one of its hands after casting the spell.
So good.
That was my version of the City of Crazies when the guy like he misses grabbing the guy and grabs the pole and he can't let go for some reason, so he just cuts off his own hand with the sickle. Okay, and
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna do that in D&D though. Can make kind of a sense.
So every time that happened, they're taking damage, right?
Yeah, I'd be like, they didn't have any more than like they had less than 20 hit points, and I was
Yeah.
rolling a D6 per spell.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes it'd be like, oh, only like 1 or 2, and that'd be like the scratch on the face, and then it's like, bam, I rolled 6. I burnt my hand off. Don't mind the train. Plate mail and heavier armors give you disadvantage on your stealth checks, so it is easier to go stealthily.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
this-
is when I said
completely
that
buck naked.
I was naked not long before with taking off my armor.
Why?
And Velvet was like, wait, what? There's a story there.
The last
My naked
cultist that
dragon
was,
man.
by the tree.
I did
sees
love that
everything
where you're
going
just
down
like,
and
I'm going
bolts,
to like
just
roll over in my
sprints
armor
straight up
and
in
put out the
sight.
fire, and then take off my armor and sneak up on them. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
After
It was a really good moment. I think what's funny about that is like it's such a like
Velvet.
to someone who's a new person into this and just to say that off the cuff and just be like, what in the fuck is happening with this party?
Then you're like, oh, my eyes, they burn. And then you're like, wait, no,
WTF?
my body is burning, as you are then set aflame.
We got this half elf
What do you
that's
wish to do?
very well endowed. We've got a dragonborn that likes to get naked, and a murderous bard. What in the fuck is happening?
some weird kind of orgy or something. I don't know what it's about.
I used to play bass
And
for Murderous
a
Bard.
smoking cardboard man.
Beware me, I am two-dimensional.
So okay, so when he said that that's how his character looks, does that mean he's the only person that exists that's completely two-dimensional in this world?
Yeah, no, his stealth rating is great. All he has to do is turn sideways.
He should have a really high AC then.
The problem is he just keeps getting caught in a breeze, and then
No wonder he can't hit for shit.
so the purple person up on
Give
the
you a mean paper cut though.
Yeah, true.
and this is when I start my trick of when I put one of the cultists into the fog cloud. The Helena Bonham
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah,
I thought that was when I thought of that, I was like, "Ooh, I'm clever." Because like obviously, yes, you all know, but it was I knew you guys would do well. It was just like, well, I don't know it's not him, so
Yeah.
roll me a d8.
That is one of the
just to
hardest
make sure
things
you go in the right
sometimes as a
direction.
player, right? When you play angles, like if you're playing like I'm standing behind the building, so I didn't see what happened around the corner.
Right.
And now I'm going to come out and cast his AoE and cause damage to my own party, that sort of thing. Because it's like I wouldn't know that they're there,
Right.
Yeah.
literally.
Right.
Nope, you're good. You don't roll the d8. You good. You know exactly which way you were facing when you went blind.
Oh yeah, he's blind, right?
Oh yeah, but he was
Blinded.
like, "Hey, I have the it was keen mind,
run
and so
forward
he
and
remembers
swing it out
everything
like
from the
a
last month." I'm like,
quarterstaff
"Oh,
there?
well, yeah, no, that's brilliant."
Right.
6 misses. It's fun to have a character that takes keen mind and observant and actor. I know exactly how you sound, and I can mimic you after watching you from a distance. Okay.
I mean, that would be fun.
Oh yeah, it's just bad luck, my friend. Just bad luck.
Still in the smoke.
I didn't know it
Especially
had
if you're
such a high
playing
turnover. Thunderous.
Kenku Warlock.
Oh man. So, a Kenku warlock that took Pact of the Old One would have telepathy and could actually speak to people.
Yeah.
That would be
Oh my
amazing.
god, I want to do that. I'm going to do that.
just
See, I
Get
want to do a
really
Kenku
close
bard
to it with
that
your microphone.
does a bunch of just remixing. So he plays one instrument and then he mimics it with his mouth.
That's
Then he plays
pretty damn
another
intimate.
instrument. Then he mimics
I'm
both
feeling-
instruments at the
I'm
same
feeling
time
breathy.
with his mouth, and then just keeps looping.
That's so cool.
I'll just call him Dick Van Dyke.
All right, Thaddeus. I love Dick Van Dyke.
So do I.
What'd you think of WandaVision?
I didn't see it.
I thought it was pretty good.
He actually had a hand in helping with the production of the first couple episodes.
Oh yeah, that would make sense actually.
Yeah.
Oh, get the master
Yeah.
that we're homaging to come in.
It was big dick energy right
So
there.
someone had to explain to him what the MCU was, so I'm sure that took a while. He's like, why is there a weird robot guy in blue makeup? Because that's how they had to do the black and white.
Yeah.
You can
Right.
get temp HP and max increase HP, and you can stack those. All right, 5 extra AP. 5
That's when I cast Aid.
Oh, yeah.
That
I love the wording on the spells where it's like it gives you extra HP and max HP for a certain amount, and then you can like
Right.
also put temporary HP on top of that. And
Yeah. And it's for 8 hours too, so
so if you guys just take a short rest, you can keep those HP. Okay.
yeah.
So from your better vantage point, go ahead and roll me a perception. As you get higher up and you're looking around, you can see that most of the action is happening right here. There's a little bit of movement behind the building that you're currently on. Over here, back up there. Finally see the last two guys. But then you notice that there's a lot of the exits out of this area seem to be blocked by something. It's kind of hard to make out though from just having just flown up. Didn't roll high enough. And do you wish to stay kind of hovering in that position? Okie dokie. Okay, back to the
That's
top.
one thing nice
Ariana.
about having flight, man. Just being able to just
You
I wanna
have
stay
been
right here in the
caught
air.
minorly
move.
aflame. Your the stranger who came in to help just got rocked in front of you twice in a row. The whole alleyway that you're in is about 15 feet deep. Like fire is now like licking at the walls and kind
Yeah.
of starting to rise up.
Oh yeah. This is where I decide I'm gonna try to like put the fire out, but I don't have any spells or anything that'll really do that, and I don't have my cloak. And for Ariana, not wearing her cloak is a very like it's sort of like like in middle school when you wore the hoodie even on the hottest days of the year.
Oh yeah.
And so she's very upset that she's not wearing her cloak. So when she goes to pull it off because she's going to smother the fire, she realizes she's not even wearing the sucker, and she's frustrated. So, but then she pulls out holy water, a flask of holy water to try to throw on him.
Oh,
But then it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't work out. She rolls bad and just ends up like making like a chicken barking sound and giving him inspiration or something.
That's right, because Georges was on fire.
Yeah.
We were trying to put him out. Oh, that was funny. And yeah, because you'd left your cloak on the halfling in the corner, and then when the
Right.
halfling bailed, you didn't retrieve your cloak because everything was happening.
Yeah. So that's basically what I'm trying to see. I'm pouring.
You put
Like
that,
trying to pour holy water on him, but it didn't work
you
out.
put that screw on way too tight. I would say,
Yeah.
roll sleight of hand
Yeah, and then I roll poorly.
to try to kind of fumble and do all of this quick enough.
See, I'm mad. Ah.
So mad, wicked mad.
So you fumble around and you pull out your flask and you start to like try to pour it on him, and the cap just didn't get unscrewed all the way, and you're trying to flick it open,
kind of wish you'd roll a 1, so you just like beat him with your flask. And yeah, no, it just doesn't come open. Ow, stop it! I'm putting you out. And you are unable to douse.
But that's what I love about sometimes rolling bad is the best way to roll because you truly get to do something hilarious or like interesting.
Sure. Mm-hmm. And it can change the entire, combat. Like, when you like lose a weapon, it's like, oh no! It's like, well, what are you gonna do now? I grabbed my flask of oil and I smashed it in his face, or something like wild. All right. So you hit him with bardic inspiration.
Right.
All right. You hear like. And that was great. It's like,
I'm like, yeah, that's about what I did.
Okay. Oh, all right, cool. No, we're yep, still here, still alive. Whoa.
Oh man.
So you're saying I should play a halfling? Yeah. I'm just so happy about this little goofball in the corner.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's my little mini adventure. He's not naked now. Let me just play with myself in the corner. Okay, wait, let me rephrase that.
Wait.
Wording, man.
I don't
wording.
think about the things I say as they come out of my mouth. I don't. For anyone that watches Community, my favorite line is still, Achoo! Yeah. Oh, Troy sneezes like a girl. How about I pound you like a boy? That didn't come out right.
I love him so much.
Without Donald Glover, that show just couldn't survive. It was just bleeding out at that point.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's actually not your turn yet. Where are we? We are at. That's Ariana. Oh, the washerwomen. Oh, the washerwomen. Okay, the washerwoman next to the Helena Bonham Carter is going to provide the aid action. There we go.
I'm like, was she actually meant to be caught in the burning hands too?
Other two washerwomen.
If it hit me.
No, because it's directly in front and to the sides. Attacking, not parallel to them. Our poor boy, Aaron Turnbuckle. The only reason I was able to hit you is because it says it's a literal cone, so it's like also with verticality. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
With disadvantage. Oh, and this is where you're like 6. Trying to get out of the
sad face.
Oh. Yeah, you've been resting on your hand for quite a while.
This is what I mean. It's like you start the session at a 10 out of 10, right?
Again.
And then at this moment, you're probably about a 5.
No, forehead wipe. Oh, shit.
Wrapped you around your mouth.
Like, we're running out of rounds here to kill these things, and I haven't hit anything.
Put your hands on your face.
Oh, my God. Oh, this is...
You still get the same experience because, you definitely learned something here.
Yeah.
By peasants. That's how I knew I could fight you. I just threw a handful of peasants at you. Go ahead and it's your turn.
Actually, I love watching this scene.
But once again, you are attacking with...
seeing it from a different point of view. It's just
disadvantage.
It would have been even more funny is if those peasants only had 1 health point, so you could have blown them over.
Oh man, I kind of wish that you would have used your force breath attack and try to get rid of the fog.
I wasn't sure if it would work on the fog actually, because where I'm sitting right here, I was like, I could easily do that.
Like, really?
But I kind of felt like it was also a little bit metagamey because I could have just attacked the ones in the fog with the same attack. So
Right. I mean,
Because I saw you line up that second cultist, and I'm like, hang on. I'm not supposed to see that guy.
I mean, honestly, if you look at the placement of everyone right now, if you were just like, "Hey, Art, this is gonna hurt," you would have a perfect cone to hit. Like,
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
well, I guess like the 3. I guess the washerwoman would be blocked by the wall, but still,
yeah, and if
like,
your ability
the-
gives you
the-
advantage,
It definitely
just roll
it definitely
straight
came
roll.
up as an idea in my head, and I was like,
okay.
I don't remember what I was talking about. Probably explaining the rules of.
You cover your mouth. I can't read your lips.
So sorry, buddy. You have multiple attacks, though, yes?
Because you were just using your key points, trying to multi-strike your way out of there. Like, let go.
I know. I was like,
okay, now you're a 4 out of 10.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for that one moment. It should come up soon. That's my.
God, look at him right now. He's just like, oh,
Does
God,
not
please
hit.
kill me.
So, 13, which one are you
This
hitting?
already. God.
My brain is just trying to figure this out. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? If I, yeah.
Damage me.
Sure.
All right. 4.
Because there was a
you-
point. There was
you
at
hit
one
the-
point I wanted to just toss one of them on top of the other one, but I
Not
couldn't because I was still
out,
pinned and
but they are
unable to
from,
move.
from the wetness that pulls away from your fist. You definitely made them bloody. The expression for it, you've taken a creature.
Okay, you're at 4.5.
I was like,
Smile, smile.
I was like, I did something. I finally did something.
Yeah, no, I'm just getting ganged up on over here. Okay.
I look like I get a little bit too much delight.
What, by torture?
Yeah.
So the other spell I was holding on to right
Why
now.
am I
is the
shaking my
possibility
head?
Was,
Like, sorry, what you're saying, Sticks.
No,
Sorry.
can't
no,
remember.
it's a good question.
You were holding on to another spell.
No, I can't remember what you were saying there.
Oh.
Like, what,
I think we said something dirty.
Yeah, probably.
It must have been. Or a really bad pun.
Oh, what was that? Was that when I
Yeah,
said
look up a spell real
bad
fast.
touch, bad touch? I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, I think it might have been bad touch.
With all the washing that is just touching you all over, holding you down. Oh, wow.
Because I don't know who's touching me. I'm just like, whatever's going on. It just doesn't feel good.
I don't know who touched me this. Well, hold on.
Oopsie.
Marlo, I need you to make a intelligence saving throw.
Oh, is this when?
You see, like, you need to make an intelligence saving throw. You said my name. I'm like, yes. Oh, I don't know what that.
Like,
Is
you just need to, like, pull at your collar going, ugh.
Ooh.
this when the big thing comes? It's gotta be the big thing comes. E the face.
I did not roll super well on that.
E.
You're just like, yeah, it's coming. Oh, what? Oh. Anticipation's killing me.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Okay, just a moment. Let's see.
Oh, what's over there?
All right. So you know, you're in this hectic situation. You're trying to put out the stranger, and you know
stranger.
you kind of drop your flask of holy water and you pick it up, and then when you look up behind the stranger is
There.
Oh, this is the illusion.
Yeah.
large form.
Ooh.
Or the phantasmal killer. Or not phantasmal killer. It's which spell? It's one of those illusion-y
But
spells
the
that makes
father
you
saw
believe
him-
what you're seeing and it
but
actually
your
hurts.
father, as when you last saw him, covered in the blood of your people with a murderous rage in his
And
eyes
that was
do not
supposed
look
to
like
be
his, a glowing red
Ariana's
from
daddy,
his
right?
eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Still covered in
Yeah.
the blood of your people.
Trauma.
Get a
Now,
little
only
peek
he
into
can
that
see this.
backstory.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's for the audience and not the fellow players. But yeah, the I just saw my dad in murder hobo mode.
Like father, like daughter.
Yeah.
And she then begins to flee. Both Velvet and Ariana can make attacks of opportunity. Of course, with disadvantage for Velvet. I didn't let go of the piece. You saw that. I didn't let go.
Yeah. I think I determined I wasn't going to make an attack of opportunity because I was so, like, as a role-playing choice,
just so our
starting to see my
audience
own
can
father.
see what you're seeing.
And at this point, this is also like the third time that somebody's gone near that well, and I'm like, something's going to happen at the well.
We're gonna wait for a dog to run up to the
history
start
upon the
calling us,
body.
What was there?
Blackened
Is that a boy?
wings.
Someone stuck in the whale?
Am I getting this mostly right?
Tiki tiki tembo no se rainbow cherry berry rich big
great,
pembo.
What?
in his hand. I missed all of that.
That's the name of the book, the Chinese
wearing
fable.
Like,
The boy that fell down the well, his name was Tiki Tiki Tembo no se rainbow cherry berry rich big pembo.
The fact that you can just ramble that makes me so damn happy.
Call him Chet for short.
Well, that was the moral of the story. You know, don't call your kids long names.
Check the spell.
Because his brother's name was Chang, and Chang was trying to tell his mum that Tiki Tiki Tembo no se rainbow cherry berry rich big pembo was down the well.
But by the time he got to tell it, he was already drowned. Man, like, how long did you practice to say that just off the cuff?
I read that book in like grade 1, I think, and from that moment I just remembered it.
Yeah, so,
I get weird with patterns. It's like saying
you-
ZYXWVET, SIQBONMLKJHDFEDCBA.
I lost track
Strikes you,
after the first thing.
with the mace, like I got one ingrained in my head because I had to do a commercial for my Afterworld podcast. The Canadian Midwestern Butthole Snake Squidworm. The Canadian Midwestern Butthole Snake Squidworm. You feel it. Which is our version of the Tremor snake, the Tremors worms. Canadian Midwestern Butthole Snake Squidworm.
Oh my god.
This is me reacting to Papa.
Papa, I killed a man. Put a knife into his ribs. If he had them, I'd kill his kids. Papa, his life had finally ended. And Velvet, did you wish to make an attack of opportunity? I don't remember. His lips are fake, so I can't read them.
Hey,
I've seen double 20s. You could do it.
flips.
Oh, okay. You're blind, yeah.
He's
Or wait,
fine.
oh no, it's still until the beginning of your next turn. Yes, it does. It does miss, unfortunately. Your chat's sticking his stick out. But that I felt someone there, and they ran away, and I went, I missed. That's not how the Fed sounds, by the way. Just for everyone at home, that is not how he sounds.
No, he sounds more like Archer.
Kind of all hear from a distance. All right. So yes, the not that I don't know if you would notice Ariana in your troubled state, but in the a hole in the wall in the back of the tavern here, the halfling has returned with what looks to be a murderous rage.
I don't know if I mentioned, but I really like the setup.
It doesn't do anything
for the map.
There.
And how you have the map, and then you have us all on the left. It just looks.
Okay, and then it's the
layout's really nice.
Oh, woohoo! I'm just happy to finally be able to use a battle mat. So I'm really excited for the beginning of next year. I signed up for the Alchemy Kickstarter for the now open instant dungeon building, where you just like drag and drop and just instantly becomes a dungeon. I'm like, yes, give me.
Ooh.
Nice.
Interesting.
Make my life extra easy, please. Because I can't get technical when I'm trying to get... It's using the wrong side of my brain when I'm trying to be creative and play D&D. So trying to like, oh, okay, I gotta find this tab and get over here and find this thing. It's like, no, it draws me out. So...
Yeah, I used to go searching for a lot of maps and stuff, just Googling, but I actually just signed up to some Patreon guys who actually make their own maps, which I think
I'm guessing you're
bring in a fair amount, and you're sort of supporting them at the same time, so
right?
I started doing that.
Heck yeah. Take 3 points of fire damage. What's the name of that if you wanted to plug it?
Oh, well, there's 2 of them that I use. One's Tom Kartos, and the other one
Aaron,
is
you may make a
Benios Maps.
reaction as you feel someone move past you in the fog.
Just remember, everyone, remember to pay your artists, okay?
So if you wish to make an attack of opportunity against an unknown assailant. So let's see, we got the other cultists who'd been running the long way around the building, finally get behind the rest of the group so we can try to because this was the guy on the
Get
right
in
side who
on the action finally.
Is this when I was supposed to get like an attack of opportunity or something against one of the guys, or no?
Yeah, because he's moving through the fog. Okay, so the person moves past
map.
you.
Dang.
And Ariana, coming out of the fog behind you.
Great.
That guy right there, that's not him. It looks like Aaron. Aaron
Comes out of the smoke and looks like your friend that's been in there for the last
oh,
5
hell!
turns.
This is what you're asking him.
Like totally. Totally fooled me. Totally fooled me.
And I think at this point, our Art is literally sitting there going, I should be happy about this because it means I get to hit stuff, but it's not actually me.
Oh, and you gave him the bardic inspiration thing too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Did he actually use it?
Oh yeah, he tried. He didn't roll very well.
That's just how it is. When you're me, you get to be everything about me. You get all my shitty rolls.
Buy some more fire.
And this is, I think, where I'll talk about the other spell that I was holding. And the reason I didn't do it is because after you did this, I was like, oh, that's going to seem like I metagame that nothing. And it was not intended that way, but I was actually holding on to Moonbeam the entire time. The only reason I didn't cast is because I had concentration on Fairy Fire. Otherwise, I would have gone for Moonbeam because I could just move it around.
Right? Moonbeam's great.
And then after you put that in, I was like, oh, that's going to seem like I did that on purpose. Because it has an added benefit.
Oh yeah, it turns everyone back into their original form.
Yep.
I think it was Storm Giants campaign where we find out like the dwarven ruler of this one city is like, that's not a dwarf, and my my lizard man's just like, not real, Moonbeam, because he's a druid, and very lizard brain, so I just act. And yeah, I just instantly cast it and reveal it to be a doppelganger, and like the entire city erupts in turmoil, and it's like, oh god, now there's gonna be civil war. It's like, what did you do, Zathras? Zathras saw thing, not thing. Zathras make thing. Actually, what was your first roll? Because the blindness was only supposed to be for a round. You should be not blind anymore. I do apologize. I don't really apologize. I loved blinding him. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, you do miss swinging the quarterstaff around. It's a hard angle. Hurt my player, or if I can't hurt my characters, I hurt the players. you don't see Scary Man, but there is the guy at the very end blocking the other side. You don't see Scary Man. I'm guessing that's talking about the dad. Yeah, there's like one guy is 15 feet away from you, the other guy's 20 feet away from you.
Okay, that's really cool.
Ooh, yeah, that's great.
Oh, wow.
You can move through friendly territory, so if you wanted to move through Ariana's spot, you would, like, if you tried to move away from the fake turnbuckle, you might incur an attack of opportunity, but it looks like a friendly. Which one, the top right? That's the crazy halfling that tried to escape. It's just Velvet assessing the situation. I'd probably.
And then it's when he.
I'd probably.
It's when he realizes he's actually quite the charming guy.
Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes! Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I apparently say that quote so much that my partner started saying it, like, at me. Nothing else from Velvet. Nothing else. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I didn't realize I did that a lot. Apparently, I do.
Yeah.
It's weird watching. It's really weird.
What?
I don't even watch my own movies in the movies I've made. I don't even watch them. I don't like watching myself.
No, I get that. Like, I don't watch any of my streams back. I probably should to check the audio quality, make sure everything was right, but I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
I hate listening to the sound of my own voice, so...
You have a wonderful, soothing voice, though. I love it. Not to be weird. God, I'm awkward. What's the name of this episode? Harvey's awkward. You know what? Roll of persuasion.
It gets uploaded to YouTube. That's what it needs to truly be titled.
Your DC is relatively high. I'll let you know that much.
Ouch.
What is Velvet doing?
He is
Rolling a persuasion, apparently.
What are we waiting on?
Does he have? He's still, as you can see, that unseen
So, yeah,
servant
what'd you roll?
has not left that spot the entire
Oh, okay.
combat.
Right.
It's
And you were
been there
saying
the
it
whole
at the guy directly in front of you?
Like, oh, I'm gonna spend a spell and summon this dude and just he's just gonna be there.
He was like, "Hey, no, what a misunderstanding."
Flynn was just like, he was just like trying to be a cool guy, like,
they
I got
will
people on it,
look
you
at
know?
each other in confusion.
Okay, you got people on what? Because he ain't did nothing.
Tilt their heads like
No,
dogs,
probably
like, you know,
the
when
opening
you're
of
trying to
next
give a man a
episode
dog,
will
does
be
your-
like the unseen servant is helping like board up the place that you're at.
But
Yeah,
Because, it's
you
active
do
for like
they
hours.
do seem to let
if
down their
I remember
guard
correct.
a little bit.
right.
Must validate. One moment. Doo, doo, doo.
Valgris.
So what's the plan? What was the plan here? Oh,
1 hour.
Yeah, this was when the crazy lady was trying to run away. I was like, nope.
Where you going?
And I'm
Really
gonna
feel
block up the
force.
well because I feel like you're gonna jump down.
Okay, that was the plan. I was going to try to have her jump down the well. It was the escape attempt. Though there was also the chance that she was going to die from the impact of hitting the bottom, so it was a 50-50 chance on whatever.
Not quite. But you'll definitely
This was my breath weapon
smash the
attack.
heck out of her. She
Where you
failed her
just
save, so go ahead
Shout
and
with concussive force.
Yeah.
4.
I thought I might have been close enough because sometimes it's deceiving to the eye. It looked like I was close enough to hit the other two, but no, just out of reach, so I only got hurt.
Alright, so Doggers is our basically our
You
base
hit with,
dragon. then.
your
Big ol'.
new breath is pure force, correct?
Yeah, he flies. He breathes. He
And it's
breathes weapon.
eerily similar
breathes
to
weapon.
how
Oh, we just turned the volume all
Have
the way
another
up.
drink,
Emily
Hunter.
from
Have another
Ariana.
drink.
He fly,
This could
he
do with a
breathe
sequel.
weapon.
just concentrated
He fly, he
into
breathe weapon.
tone
What's your
as
what's
it
your breath
smashes
weapon?
her into
Swords.
the ground.
I breathe out
She hits the
swords.
ground and
Nothing but a
bounces
pile of
back.
swords comes out of my
And
mouth.
kind of staggers and,
Cool,
catches
let's roll it with
and
it.
just,
That kind of suck. Every
like,
time you sneeze, you just give yourself paper
all
cuts.
over like the head and chest. Just
Achoo,
from
butter knife.
the impact alone. Still alive, bloodied.
That sounds like a quirk, man, from like My Hero Academia.
I know. Oh, true.
What do? I breathe out swords. What?
Like, it's not as cool as you think.
Excellent.
That's why I have this little.
I think it was about. I was going to say, I think at this moment as well, I'm also deciding whether or not it was a good idea to run so far away from the other two because they're going to get smashed.
18 definitely hits.
So I was like, maybe this is maybe not such a good idea.
Oh yes, this is your
That
summoned
will now
weapon.
be your spiritual weapon.
Yeah.
And you said 8?
Oh yeah. This is when I was like,
She
hey,
drops.
that's right. Clark's can do this.
Hit her with the force of your
That's why you
breath.
self-tag
and she
team.
bounces and pops back up and staggers.
Okay,
then
I gotta
you
think before I
coalesce
say things.
The purple energy,
Think before I say things.
and it turns into
Oopsie.
what is the
Who
symbol
needs to
or the
think,
shape
honestly?
of your spiritual weapon?
I'm a creature of instinct and reaction.
That's,
But you already used your reaction.
that's right. Just
Is your instinct tag teaming? What?
No, you know, you use the words without thinking about
drops to her knee and then
the
hugs
other interpretations. You know, if there was no such thing as innuendo, if it would be just fine. My language would be perfect, but my words always make me sound dirtier than I am.
you have 10 feet. So.
Yep.
Okay, so you're 10 feet straight up.
Harvey's awkward, bud.
So you're about 20 feet straight up. Right
I
now,
think we're
actually.
all a bit awkward.
Or wait, let's see, because your
It's
cone
been a
going
pandemic.
down is 15 feet. So
Do you play D&D?
yeah, you're about
Are
like
you-
20 feet straight up now.
You're awkward.
Excellent. Does the spiritual weapon have any movement or
Oh,
is that on
man.
next turn? Okay.
Whew.
Oof. When-
Good
I shouldn't have
job.
laughed so hard at that. So sad.
So top of the round, we're going to Ariana.
thing is, I'm actually a fan of a little bit of self-deprecating here.
You look
I do this
over at
myself
like
all the
your
time.
father had struck you and
Probably
had
shouldn't, but it's
disappointed and in
I
shock,
think it's funny.
and you're like,
You're a fan of
Why
what?
are you here?
Self-deprecating humor.
and as soon as you hear
Oh,
that,
okay.
man. Oh man, I got
roar from,
an act
from
for you
further
later.
on, the image of your father just
I actually
your
just
eye.
did a interview with King
real.
Narcalian, another Twitch streamer,
What
where we live
you
stream
don't even know. at
a
this point.
fantasy world and make up
Was it
lore
a
on the spot.
hallucination? Was it
Ooh.
because
Very
of
similar to
magic
kind
or
of
because
my
you?
Afterworld show, and yeah, I'm the leprous cur, leper stand-up comic. Which is really hard without real feet. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Am I a real leper? Yes, I am, mate. God strike me dead.
Mhm.
Please.
Someone give him a hand.
No, none of that applause crap.
Yeah, it
I
looks like
need
Aaron.
a hand.
Like he's just like
So this is when the you've killed the witch and the illusion finally broke of your father in his murderous rage, just finally dissipates.
yes.
And this
yes,
is, I think,
no,
where the series of significant events starts to turn Ariana as well.
Yeah.
Right, because I think it's like the whole
doing an
surprise of
intimidation
seeing
check?
Thalgris being all flying dragon man
Go ahead and roll.
probably wouldn't have been so bad if it wasn't immediately
Yeah.
after the traumatizing event of seeing your
Dirty or
murderous
nat?
father
Right.
back from the dead.
Nat.
Right.
Yep.
I had a
And I
nat
don't think
20.
anybody really realized she saw that either.
No,
So it's like everybody just thinks like, why is Ariana being crazy right now?
Okay,
Yeah, you looked like frozen, like and then you like swung your head like you got hit, and
Yeah.
So you had a stroke. So you start like just tearing into it, and it just she goes, "Ah!" And then just a mouthful of blood just pours right out and like down his chest. Just, "Ah!" As it just starts to like rage. Oh, this was you effing up the halfling some more.
Yeah.
Any bonus?
I want to do psychic
movements?
damage to the crazy person. Oh, that's gonna hurt. I attack him with therapy.
Oh, this is where I give the fake Aaron fucking inspiration, bardic inspiration. Aaron, you see me, air quotes, Aaron, and my eyebrows moved with them. That was so good. It was like I timed that. I didn't even think about it. It was like eyebrow wiggle with the air quotes.
Bonus XP, I would give it. That's wonderful. Okay, so he's got a bardic inspiration. And yeah, do you do any movement?
it is now official. I'm going with, at the beginning of every session, everyone gets one free DM reroll per session.
Okay.
Now, like
Your
right
Hail
up on him?
Mary get out of jail free card.
You still get like a free draw.
Because you guys never
like,
cease to
drawing
impress me.
action.
Like, where I would normally be like, all right, that was really
That's no
cool.
problem.
Here's some GM inspiration. Like,
Uh,
I keep forgetting to hand it out, and it's just like, you guys consistently earn it.
if he takes it.
Well, thank you.
Let me do an intelligence check.
Can't wait till you guys actually see a normal town.
Doesn't do anything. You're fine.
Someday.
Someday.
Someday I'll get you into
Yeah,
a normal
maybe.
roleplay experience.
Yeah.
For at least a lull.
Like no burnt down city, no people almost dying.
Oh, and the volcano erupts, and now you gotta rescue everyone.
Washerwomen are
Oh, no.
going to just try to maintain.
Come on, Avatar Aang, you can do this.
You just see me
their
trying
hold on
to
you,
put like
so
cool down the
they're,
lava with my
they're
my
just
bone
gonna
chuck,
continue?
like spinning it really fast. Go work.
You smacked the second one that was holding your mouth, but they're just going to continue holding until you try to break their grapple. And it is your turn.
Yeah, there's no
Oh
free
wait,
getting out of
I
this.
forgot about the one right here.
Like no.
Like, I sometimes forget that's like, oh, if, I don't
it's
need to
going
re-roll every round if no one's
you know what, it's
fighting
gonna
against
try to
my grapple.
grapple
I can just keep maintaining
the,
it. I'm like, oh yeah, so I'm just gonna keep doing
Poor
that.
velvet.
Fuck.
Can you give me an
I
athletics
honestly
or
forgot that I could have
acrobatics
done
check?
that. I just
There,
just
Velvet.
like, you know what, I'm just gonna swing.
Oh, it's just one or the other. You just pick which one to defend with, and you make it no problem. Yeah. So she like reaches around the corner and like tries like grabbing at anything there, and you're just seeing like just scraggly like nails like that are like broken and
Ugh.
chipped and gnarly and like just grease streaked up the arm. It's just like clambering around the corner trying to make purchase and grab at your robe.
Okay, I
or
was
your,
inspired by
coat.
watching a video
but
of this guy
just
who's
can't-
like videotaping his
quite
crazy
change
neighbor
the type of trick.
digging under his fence and shoving leaves from her yard into his
And
yard.
now it's Aaron's
And it's
turn.
like the creepiest looking thing of like these just like muddy hand, like just scooping leaves and pushing on rocks like underneath the fence. It's like totally not known she was being recorded. I'm like, that's gnarly. Like,
Oh,
Okay, so you wish to beat a mother lover with another mother lover.
The what now?
beat a mother lover with another mother
oh yeah,
lover.
that's what I was,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
it-
that's like that's what I was gonna try to do. But nope,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
You still have
I'm still like,
disadvantage due to
I was
being
so
prone,
hoping. I was like, also
and
like,
in the
please,
smoke.
please,
Um,
just let me do it, please.
and they,
So,
they are both.
That's now
they
two.
have-
Right then.
But yes, you can still totally affect that.
Because it's at this point he's realizing
also
that
just try to
the
do,
not real
opposing
me is
athletics
having
or
more
acrobatics.
fun.
And once again, it is at disadvantage.
I love how like when when
also have
Ariana's
this issue,
questioning a fake turnbuckle,
Cute.
and his response is just yeah and, like not they didn't question it at all.
It's like he's not saying words, but hey, he doesn't sound like he says words anyway.
Yeah, no insight checks here.
Yeah, exactly. No one signed a roll.
quick
It's like,
flip.
well, that's weird.
twist your
Insight
head,
check. No, no
turn to the
one
side
thought it
and-
was.
Well, in her defense, though,
And
like
you are
she was
free
just
from
like she
one
was
of your
just
realms.
totally floored by a vision of her father.
Right.
So I think like
Is
maybe
an
she would
attack.
just chalk it up to her not like
Grappled and
fully
like
understanding what's being said.
You're
I
in
don't know.
shock. Maybe he's in shock.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh my god, I can smell my family cooking pizza downstairs. Oh. I must consume. No, no, I'll be good. I'll be good. We only got an hour and
Go
40
ahead and,
minutes
make those
left.
attacks.
Are you
An hour and
pooping me?
This
Yeah,
is a
I'm
longer
long.
session.
And I
It's a
get
long one.
perception checks from the rest of the party.
And we're gonna put this in 2x speed.
I think this is why I was a little lower on energy for this one as well, because I'd been up since like 4 in the morning, and then I started my game at 7:30, and then this one is at
Okay.
11:30.
So I think we didn't finish till 4.
You
Yeah,
are correct,
it's
Velvet. You
Pretty
have
close
no
to 4 in the
clue.
afternoon.
Thalgris,
Oh man, I am so sorry, my brother.
In the smoke.
No, it's not your fault. I was just like,
Aaron Turnbuckle's definitely having
the
trouble.
way I'd gone for the day, because I woke up too early.
Ariana-
I was just awake.
Very
No, it's-
confused
hey,
because
I
you
hate
hear,
that.
those
you know,
days.
help! I can't see. I'm
get
stuck,
up and you're like-
look
And you don't
back,
want to go back to sleep because you got a
and you see
deadline. So
Aaron.
like,
But the sound came from that
Yeah.
direction,
Like,
so you
well,
definitely know
I'm up now.
something is
Damn
up
it.
or something is definitely weird.
Should
It's
probably
like,
do
did you just
something
say
there, I
that?
guess.
Why? You're fine. But yeah, that is.
Oh,
you
this
can't
is where
make any
the
actions from it right
confusion
now.
of where whose voice is
but
coming
that-
from
but there is
where.
Oh, yeah.
something-
Because
Well,
your voice came from
in
the
this
smoke,
moment.
and like he's in the exact same direction as you, and so it just
10 and
seemed
7.
weird.
I was like,
You do not hit. Just an 11. An 11.
that's a 1 out of 10. You do not hit.
I was like, swing! Crap.
I feel so bad, Aaron.
It's just me flailing the whole time inside a fog cloud. Like, ah!
Yeah, this is the point when Aaron
okay,
just starts
so-
like doing the whole
Aaron-
kids movement of like just flailing constantly.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Within the illusion.
This is, yeah.
Dead.
I mean, even now you can't describe it.
All right, the halfling.
Yep.
Oh man. Just gotta sit myself up. I'm good. I'm good. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, so it the halfling
Like, I'm not upset. No.
just starts freaking out, and the blood is just burbling, and it just reaches down and grabs just a piece of just charred, broken log, and just it's pretty much just a big mace-like club. It's just got some nails that have been pounded into it, that some rubble, and just hits you. Does an 18 hit you? Yeah. Okie dokie.
Whack.
Go ahead and take
I just like
7 points of bludgeoning
point of view
damage.
from this poor halfling. Like I'm just over here enjoying licking up the blood pile on the
It
ground,
swings once,
and this
just
weird woman
wham, and hits
comes
down,
into my
and then it
feeding
tries to
area,
backhand swing,
and
its
she
second
starts
attack,
like
it
asking me
freaking
stuff
lets
and
go of the
throws her
weapon,
clothes
and
on
it
me
goes
and
flying
keeps,
off
then
behind
offers me
them.
food and then turns around and blasts my brain.
And it just
Oh,
goes
man.
flying onto the rooftop behind them on another building. And so they had a weapon, and now they've lost it. But it will stay there to continue haranguing you. And after crazy
Those words that don't sound like real words, but they are real words, are so fun.
Haranguing?
Harangue.
Yeah, I remember one time
okie dokie.
I was meeting this
the
at the
false
grocery
Aaron,
store in Eugene,
is going
Oregon
to
here, and
run up on
there's
you,
a
Ariana. As you kind of turn to look, and you're
exchange
like, "What's going
student
on?"
from
And
from
that
Scotland.
look of curiosity
And,
is like the trigger for him.
we just start
and he just
talking
comes
while the
running
grocery
up on
line,
ya.
and I
Um,
can't remember what he said, but he's like, "Oh,
Doesn't have any
that's a
skills.
that's a good word. You don't hear that a lot over here." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've been raised with a high vernacular." Vernacular? That is a good word. It's like, I like the weird large words.
So yeah. Oh, and I'm sorry. What was that? A D6 of Oh, I rolled a 6. That's 11. I'm still don't hit you.
Oh, that was with the
and,
advantage.
Yeah, it just runs up
of-
and, so you're like, what? And you see Aaron come running up with a dagger that you've never seen before, and just swings wide. Artfully just
Swing
duck
wide.
out of the way.
Fake turnbuckle. May you
And
miss our
as soon as that
Marlowe
happens,
friend
the
now.
illusion fades. You see the game pop and kind of rupture and
Swing
bubble and twist and make
wide.
that weird, crunchy, sloughing.
Does more damage in one hit than
sound as-
Aaron did the whole round.
pops back to normal. Both eyes are gone.
I legitimately thought maybe he was just gonna, because I was being nice to him, just be our new friend or something. Like,
Same
wow.
thing with the other
He just
two,
wants to be Aaron so
cultists
bad.
that are out here.
So which body part did he lose to disguise himself?
They both.
oh no, he's the nega Aaron.
Yeah.
That's a
There
joke
you
about
Well,
it
they,
now.
yeah. But they're not.
Oh man, then I pincered the freaking wizard with
but
the,
Oh,
with
dude.
flanking.
the two cultists.
I mean, this is that sort of moment when you have that meme voice go off in your head, and Asthalgris was standing here way over on the side, and you just go, at this point, he knew. He fucked up."
And then the JoJo
Well,
continues, starts playing. I
okay.
to be continued screen. Yeah.
Take
JoJo.
4 points of damage
Bizarre
as
Adventure.
they both.
Oh,
run up,
Bizarre
one
Adventure.
either
Oh,
side
you're
of
talking
you,
about
with
Roundabout.
daggers drawn,
Fucking
and
love
they
that
shake
song.
you in the front and the back.
Man, okay, first time I watched JoJo, and like, you know, the ending, they're still talking, but they start playing the beginning of Roundabout, and it's like,
less than
wow,
half
this
your- are you
this
half
sounds
your
like
points or
Roundabout.
less?
And then it kept going, like, this doesn't sound like a remake at all. This sounds like Roundabout. And then it goes
Yeah.
right into it, and the credits like, this is Roundabout. They paid for Roundabout for this random anime. And yeah, then I had to do a
Basically,
deep dive on like
If anyone starts
all the
dipping
characters are
to
named
half
after
their hit
different
points or
prog
lower,
rock
you can
characters.
say
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my
I'm
god,
visibly
okay.
bloody, which
This guy's
lets
just a
your- lets
huge
other
prog
teammates
nerd.
know without having to make a medicine check that, oh hey, they're effed
Oh,
up real
now,
hard.
and I want to figure out how to make a
But you
JoJo
still look
character
okay.
for D&D. That'd be kind of fun.
Okay.
I'll send you the video. There's a guy named, I think his name is Turlock. Shout out to Turlock, who does like
okay.
how to build this character in
but
D&D.
that is their turn.
I don't always
Getting
agree
you,
with his
pinned
builds,
for
but
dex.
I do learn a lot from
and
them.
That brings it
Interesting.
down to
Is
your
that'll
turn.
be fun. Will Aaron get a stand by the end of this series?
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
let's
Tulok.
check
Tulok
out
the
my
Barbarian.
skills. Oh, my Lanta. And let me guess,
Oh,
higher level
my
just
Lanta.
gives multiple creatures? Okay. The person behind you is charmed. The person in front of you resists.
Oh, yeah, when he finally gets it working.
What do you mean you don't have any offensive spells?
I still love in a D&D game I'm playing, they're like, here's your you have a bag of holding, but it's a burlap sack. Are you sure? Yeah, it's a burlap sack. Are you sure, DM, that you're giving me a burlap sack of holding? Yeah, okay. I use these glasses of charming to charm this guy and tell him to grapple his buddy and shove him in the bag while I hold it. Thump.
The fake
That's
Aaron.
one guy gone, just instant.
Okay, now I'm just gonna throw
And post it in
Okay,
chat.
okay. So you want to be able to see both of your enemies do this again next
Don't
round.
put.
I haven't watched this one myself, so
Okay.
I can't give any
Let's
advice.
Please don't put my squeal on there. Do not put that squeal on
Where
there,
this
please.
at? Yes, you can still see the one. So yes, right
I watched
here
a few of
is
those,
this
but
Oh
I
pretty
haven't
much
watched
what
that
you
one.
look
I actually remember I watched some of his stuff every now and then. I'll gotta check this one out.
Okay, there's one attack of opportunity. I'm guessing. I rolled a 9. So yeah, 8 plus or 7. Yeah, 7 plus 2.
I can math.
So yeah, you got lucky. You get some,
I got a 9.
mage
That's
armor.
7 plus 2. Yay, good job, Harvey.
Hey, y'all want to make a commentary video where we just talk about random shit and kind of half-ass what's going on in the game?
Yeah, if you like this style, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah.
We might do this more. I don't know.
So
if we get 1,000
question
views, we'll do
on
it.
Charm person,
Yeah,
do you command
is
them
this
on their
kinda like
turn?
That's a low bar.
This is kind of like what's it called? Mystery Science Theater thing, or?
MST3K, yeah.
That's just,
Okay, so
that's
if
what
you,
it's- wow, I
give-
cannot
okay,
speak.
I'm not gonna lie.
Command.
I literally thought about trying to do cutouts of our silhouettes and try to post them on the front of the board. I'm like, I don't have enough time.
It shouldn't be too hard to do.
Man, I was gonna say what we could do is I'm sure we could put a filter on us with a green screen and just like black us
That's
out,
what,
and then we could
a
just
minute?
put an OBS screen and like literally make it so that we're down there, so our movements are still silhouetted in there. We could.
Oh, we fine.
I'm gonna play with the idea. Not sold yet.
Yeah. What if we?
Okay.
I could probably get back to the thing. But I don't.
Yeah.
I'll mention it later. But we'll see what's going on. We got. Okay, he left. And now.
Yeah, Aaron will not be able to follow your direction. But that's good turn. Good turn. Trauma guy ran away, didn't get hit.
Velvet.
It's a good thing that he.
Tried to yell direction to Aaron, I think, the fake Aaron.
Like it's good. It's a good thing that he didn't die. Because he didn't have any real big offensive spells. So like surprised he survived.
I think I wasn't too worried because you got Thalgris in the team. Like, I'm
That's
sure he wouldn't let some stranger who was helping out just die at his feet.
Okay, with
Sure. Sure, I will.
You know, the thing that I didn't... Okay, we'll get there.
He is
Maybe.
still prone.
Remind me to... I'm gonna write this thought down so I can bring it up later, so I don't spoil it for the listener.
Lower than standing.
So this is when I'm doing the flyby tractor beam.
Oh, yeah.
Try
My
to fly
angel
in and grab
saving
him.
me from-
Go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Because this was interesting, right? Because
And
I
we're gonna
can't
try to
see in
be
the fog
Aaron's
either,
safe.
because it's not like it's darkness specifically. Because if it was darkness, I'd be like, well, I can see it anyway.
I've been learning to use more smoke and more dust cloud stuff in D&D just because almost everyone is playing races now that have dark vision or if they don't have it, they have a spell of it because they play a wizard. And it's just like,
And
man, making things in
No
the
one else
dark is no
witnesses
longer
this.
scary.
So you into the smoke, and it starts to billow, and you.
Or you can't even make it
grab-
magical darkness,
you feel
especially if
just-
you've got a warlock
just
inside.
the nimblest of fingers.
Well, yeah, no. How about
As
the
you've
magical
reached up,
can see through magical
and you're
darkness
just
and like
able to
at double the
just
regular sight
hang
range?
on, and then get that grip, and you're able to.
Yeah,
start to
especially if
pull
you played
him.
a
And
warlock,
I am going to
like I'm
now,
doing with
make
a.
new
Well, I'm not
round
playing a
check
warlock, but
with-
like with the Twilight Cleric multi-class. You get the 300 feet dark vision, and then you get Devil's Sight on top of that.
In one campaign, I literally had
So,
my characters
the
in
way I'm going to rule this is that you've
like
grabbed hold and you've pulled him
pocket
up
world,
just enough that he
and
is now in the standing
one of the
position.
characters literally learned like some of the major
no
secrets
longer
because
grappled.
they could see that far. And I was like, oh well, here's a slip of paper for you. Here's a little description on what you're seeing compared to everyone else. And it changed the game quite a bit and the dynamic. That person, once again, most warlocks, man, they're bastards. They're just not nice to the rest of their party.
That hits.
What in the? So yeah, this is where you tried to hit and you succeeded,
All right.
and he was able to
That
get a hold of him.
one
Hey.
is,
Yeah, and I think I used my
visibly
spiritual weapon on the other
super
cultist
bloody.
as well.
Look, I think I'm back to-
crescent
I think
wound
I'm back to
slashes
a
him
4.
across the back,
Now was that the one
and
that
the
was
blood spills down, and it like
charmed
kind of
or
spins
not?
around to see who attacked it, and it's like
I
then another,
don't
like, it just
think it
coughs
was,
and more
but I
blood
don't
kinda
remember.
comes out, and there's already like the empty sockets, and it's like this.
Because
this
again,
is
that would have been another
horror
situation where I
show.
wouldn't
This
I
guy's
wouldn't
a
have
mess.
known as a player, as a character. So I'm just gonna swing at it anyway.
This is where you're like, you literally had it down to 1 hit point. It was already like missing its hand and
that's
missing
the
both
top,
eyes and all sorts of
You are
messed up
pincered
and cut in the
between-
back.
A maniacal hobbit and an eyeless cultist. Trapped between a hobbit and an eyeless cultist.
Classic country song.
And they killed my dog.
And then we're just continuing. You're just going.
I found my dad.
Oh my dad.
Oh, the short sword, basically equivalent. The wavy black dagger.
I still feel really bad for taking your wolf away.
I deserve that. I completely forgot about it, so I was like,
Hey, the dog has a home though,
yeah, he does.
and all the bones it can eat.
I wonder if lizard folk taste nice.
Chicken.
Probably. Can lizard folk have feathers?
Earth tremor.
This was like the
That's-
third
let's
thing
see,
in a row
range
to
on
Ariana. It was the reveal of the flying dragonborn, the sight of her
Okay, and it is just
father,
all around
and
centered
then
on you?
the
Or is it
deception
on a
of the cultist looking like Aaron.
Yeah.
The three things combined.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
The Holy Trinity.
all the mental tricks to just like just shake her up.
Right, and he still looked like Aaron when he was attacking me. Right?
Oh, that's nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Are you my friend? Are you really? You could be one of them. Say that. Gotta knock the correct code to come in. What's our secret catchphrase?
So basically, what you do if you're not sure if that's the same Aaron, it's one thing you gotta do.
Range area 10 feet.
To pants him?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it, yeah.
Are you really my friend? Let me see your dick. That sounds so coercive. Oh my god.
So bad.
You're my real
If
friend.
you were really,
aren't you?
if you were really my friend.
Let's really like answer the question. What? How long? 14. That's right. Okay.
Oh my god.
Back to our regularly scheduled
Yeah,
program.
anybody with-
Last time on The Legend of Korra. Oh, okay. I know this might be a little. Oh.
Because she,
Oh?
I was just gonna say, because at the moment too, like she still wouldn't be able to see past him into the fog to see that I'm there in the fog with Aaron either.
Right.
Nope.
So
You couldn't hear it, so I had to do it for you.
Operatic. Operatical.
Your DBZ screaming.
Yeah.
And all the rocks and all start to
DBZ
float up
screaming.
around you.
I feel like I could be a really good singer if my allergies weren't so awful all the time.
God.
Constantly snotting all the time.
So bad right now.
All right. So, make a dexterity saving throw there, Velvet.
I'm exactly the same, where I'm like, oh, I really
What
want
do we
to crank
need to
this
beat?
song up and sing, but then, phlegm. Yeah, no, keep that up.
No, I just
I have
can't.
one of those air purifiers in my little studio here, and but every time I have to record, I have to
Okay.
turn it off.
So
Because it makes too much noise.
Aaron
It's just like,
wannabe.
all right, cool. I have
does
like
not get
only
hit.
so long, well, perfect breathing before this runs out.
As soon as the earth starts to rumble, maybe it's the residual feelings of
It'd
being,
be that way,
a
though.
pugilist monk, but it's suddenly like lighter on their feet and just kind of hops around like, like a butterfly. The Hobbit, on the other hand,
Sting like a bee.
just completely barrel rolled, just gets flattened straight to the ground, just falls flat, and
Talk like a resident.
roll 1d6 damage. Yeah, you do.
Oh, that was the earth tremor to knock everyone down. Like does D6 and knocks him prone.
Mhm.
Oh.
The fact that the fucking the cultist still had residual
Do you want to roll the
turnbuckle
damage for,
feelings.
on him?
Says the women want me.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cultists want to beat me.
Yeah.
Hey, you thought it was funny?
It's getting really meta in here.
What am I yelling?
I know.
Laughed at my
Oh
own joke.
man. And you are knocked prone, my friend. Okay, so any movement or bonus action from you there, Ariana?
I think that's right. You think you knocked Velvet prone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's walked in there to help you, and you've just gone, nah, get down.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna do it. I had the plan to do it before he came in there. And I was just like, fuck it. I don't even know this guy. Like,
It's like
Are
this
you
guy has
creating
like that
bardic
no good
inspiration
deed
with,
goes unpunished.
Question marks? Sorry about that, friend. Who put that on the teleprompter?
You just made that joke.
I used the one on the bat he had. Oh, did Velvet?
This is where he like rolls his bardic inspiration, and it's still not enough.
Hmm.
Oh, that's right. You know what? Go ahead and give it to him, and I'll let you have 2. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna store him up, just to make up for.
he hadn't used it yet. I need to get better about reminding people when it's their
Put a
turn.
delay
Don't
on
forget
her
you have
spell?
bardic
She didn't know she could do
inspiration.
that?
I put a little dry erase board next to me. That's why I'm always
It's
marking off in the
sub-vocal
corner.
training,
It's where
you
I got
know.
your guys' all like how much damage you've done to my enemies and your guys' initiative score.
Yeah, it's just like.
I should probably put a little
How?
marker for that
How?
too for status ailments.
All right, so Ariana, after you, it is the washwomen.
Oh,
My groupies.
They are going to try to jump and clamor and try to grab it.
no! Don't go
I just rolled 4 5s in a row.
That's all right, because Aaron's going to roll too.
Spoiler alert. Jeez.
Don't even know.
Watch my face. Watch my face. Watch my face. Watch my face.
4 in a
Just watch my
row.
face.
Oh no! I'm sorry. Turnbuckle, because you're kind of floating above and you're holding onto him, and they're trying to like grab at him and pull him down. Just 2. Yes.
I know. I just mentioned if it was still a disadvantage. I just like
Did you get grabbed?
please forget. Please forget. I just roll that one.
The anticipation.
All right, so the one flanking you from Thalgris, the one directly on the opposite side of him, is able to grab a hold of your boot.
Yeah, because he rolled lower than a 5.
You kind of lifted him up, and she's grabbed onto his leg and like pulled him back down. So you're grappled. You're not pinned. You're not knocked to the ground. So you can still have action and move around. Thalgris, give me an athletics check as well.
Oh, that's really tug of war.
I rolled this really poorly too.
Oh, yeah, also with disadvantage. Sorry. I got a 9. So she tries to grab him and starts to try to use her movement to pull him out of the fog in the other direction away from you. And you're just like holding on the other side, flapping your wings vigorously. The fog starts to disperse a little bit. Let's see.
Oh yeah, this is
moment,
what I was
just
trying to say.
poor
Can I use
Jeff
that?
Aaron
Can I
getting,
use
grabbed
he's
by
flapping.
one arm and being
He's
pulled by
flapping.
one.
Can I use that? Can I get the advance?
Different
Can I get
directions,
just a
but
regular
doesn't get
roll off of that,
dragged.
please?
Just one moment of respite.
Just
please,
one,
dear
please.
God, anything.
Just give me a normal roll. Just give me a normal.
She's going to run up to the cultist, and she's going to aid him. So it gives advantage on his next turn. And that is the washwoman's turn, and now it is Aaron.
This is where I start. Like, can I get it? Please, does it mean?
This is where there's hope. Like, oh,
There
God,
it is. Like, yeah, well, you said that he was Fog was called.
You do still have disadvantage.
Okay, there's the 0 moment. There's the 0 out of 10.
Like, there's hope.
Significant
Crap.
motion. Or if he decided to start flapping his wings, I might allow that, depending on how well he does in athletics. Yeah. Yeah, no, that definitely hits. Go ahead.
Oh, this is when I finally get good rolls.
This is the one grabbing you.
Like, literally, Robin about to leave the fog.
4 damage.
Yeah.
You kick her
4
and she's,
damage.
and like
Yeah, I don't hit hard yet.
dislocated jaw. Still up.
Oh, just 1
Still
point of
up.
damage left. Wow.
Yeah, they had like 5. I think.
I should just hit him with the bone chuck. Oh my gosh, realized that. I should just swap. Just gonna swap straight down.
Damn.
What do-
Yes,
what do we-
definitely hit.
Aaron's dad comes in and
And that'll
goes,
take her out. Like you.
how many enemies did you kill
take
today?
her out.
Aaron?
Don't want to talk
So,
about
yeah,
it. Puts on hood and
hit her
walks
in the
away.
jaw, it dislocates. And you're like, nah, and then you kick your foot the other way, and it dislocates to the other side, and she just spins around with the momentum and just flops to the ground. You are completely free, and you can move if you want.
I think it's when I asked if I can climb on Valgriss's back.
You will have to give me an athletics check. Thalgris, you'll have to give me an acrobatics check, and there will be an attack of opportunity.
I was like, never mind. Like, it's been a hard night. I don't want to risk that.
Yeah.
No guts, no glory.
I don't know what I said.
Okay.
Man, I wish.
I don't even know what.
Let's see. You've taken out the Hobbit. Hobbit is gone.
It was funny because what was going through my head was like, okay, if I can get on Valgriss's flying. He's flying now, right? I get on his back, and I could like swing my bone chuck, and like as we flying past people, just
Ariana
smack him in the
and,
face.
Velvet. He's going to attack Ariana with the knife with advantage. Guessing a mod 20 hits you?
Oh yeah.
Stabbed by the false turnbuckle.
And
He ain't no real turnbuckle.
take 2 points of damage. A little time.
I reckon that'd be a really cool character to make, is have an ally that
And
hits you that
then,
charges up your
the
abilities.
Charmed one is
Well, that'd be
going
dope.
to
So while you
rush
take
forward
damage, you
and
actually
attempt
get
to tackle,
stronger.
the,
God, that'd have to be a barbarian route, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd have to be.
Yeah.
I can see that's
And
probably.
does so.
I mean, I suppose that's what a blood hunter
So
is.
they are
I
now
can see that working for a monk though. Is like
engaged
you're
with
unlocking
each other,
each chi
grappling
point
each
for them to
other.
get stronger.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess now it's that other one's turn. Tries to.
And just poke someone until they get better.
Just tries to shank him. Disadvantage. It actually does so. maybe do something like "Get off me!" and starts just stabbing his own buddy. Oh shit! No, and fucking killed him. He had done so much damage to himself casting other spells. He was only down to a couple
And
hit
just to
points.
let you guys know,
So,
that unseen servant has not moved.
Oh no! Oh my god!
Yeah.
I just reversed that. My bad. No, you're friendly. I mixed that up. That was my bad.
I'm bad at this.
No, your friendly boy is not dead. That one hadn't cast.
I need to buy an actual good second camera, and then
Here,
I can like
this
actually pull
is-
out the miniatures
That's now your
in a real
friendly
board.
Someday.
Oh, there.
friendly boy
Okay.
got shanked.
Fancy
for a couple
face
points.
for the friendly boy.
Fancy face for friendly boy.
I'm just saying that's the one you've charmed.
Kind of hard to say. Fancy
Just
face
giving you a
for
different
friendly
face for
boy.
it so we
Fancy
can
face for
easily,
friendly boy.
Differentiate.
That should. Oh my.
Top quality audio here.
And it is your turn now.
We're getting near the end.
You can feel it. Heading to the end. Still got an hour and 10 minutes left.
Yep.
But I'm sure we can cut it short.
Pretty sure we could chop it up. To cut out some of the pauses.
That's true. That's true.
Well, as you stand up, you get shanked for 3 hit points.
Oh, I just realized he glowed for a second.
Hmm?
Yeah, the Fed.
Oh.
The Fed. I just realized like his monocle turned purple and his staff actually glowed. I didn't know that.
He did a spell.
All right.
He did a fancy sparkle magic.
So yeah, you stand up and he just shanks you in the shoulder as you're rising up, and you brush out of the way, just like and pull off your spell. Wisdom save, and I'm guessing to the Gandalf looking guy. Oh,
Yeah, once it was mentioned once, they were always just the Gandalf looking guys.
They're all Gandalf.
so the
Young
washwoman
hobbitses,
does
I've
not
come to
get
stab you
affected,
with my eyeless
but
lids.
Gandalf the dude here does.
Look to be on the third day.
You have quite a treasure there with that sanity.
Is charm? There's no concentration on it, right? Okay. Two fresh friends.
Too fresh. Oh, so many fancy boys.
Two fancy boy.
Okay. Here, and I can double check charm person real fast. I say real fast. Okay. Any movement? You still have 15 feet of movement because you take 15 to stand up.
Yeah, I gotta say, charm is a pretty good offensive spell, especially depending on who you charm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually forgot what does it do exactly? It's just you're able to control someone, or are they just your friend?
Thalgor.
You're basically like you give them a single word
Still
command like
in the fog,
defend me,
hanging
or
on to your
like, you know,
friend.
attack.
You just felt the tug
run,
of war give way.
and
you,
they'll
now
like
free.
they'll do it to the best of their ability until the spell ends. So it's always good. It's like you kind of like look over at a party and you're like, who's got the lowest wisdom? Who's got the you?
That would be
There's
me.
my bitch.
Oh, do the charms make them lose?
That's just like
That is a very good
that's
question.
just
That'll
that'll just bring
guy
back
did that.
trauma
He
from
there,
the
he
very
did there, he
first
did him,
couple
he's there.
sessions
know
when I
what?
got charmed by the
Good call, fellas.
By the nymph.
Oh yeah.
The
I forgot
part
about that.
was it dryad or
dryad.
right?
charm takes hold.
They're like, oh yeah, I'm a
No,
kid.
things would have turned out real different. They were nymphs.
Oops.
Have you ever had a character sexed to death? Well, that's what happened. Retire your character. Goodbye.
Wait.
The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
Oh, that Brandon. The body is willing, but the body is spongy and bruised. Oh, yeah,
My body is made up of a
flies
series of
through like a
bladders.
shuriken and just embeds itself in her, and she just drops straight
How
out.
come nobody loves Zoidberg?
Good news, everyone. Bad news. So the way I'm having it set up is that I don't want to live on this planet anymore. I'm still working on my
Farnsworth.
It's a pretty good Farnsworth though.
No! What are you doing? I probably shouldn't do that. Does that look right?
Yeah.
All right. So yes, you fly above, and you do find that there's large enough gaps and holes in the roof that you're able to.
And once again, I have
drop
no
him
idea
in.
that they're charmed.
Kind of hit right.
Oh, yeah.
Crashing
She's like,
down,
"Oh, look,
dropping
enemies."
debris
I'll
into
take care of
it.
that.
I can
That's kind
tackle.
of
I
a
don't take.
superhero
I
ending.
don't take grapple
And
that
then you
one.
come down.
I think I grapple.
Yeah, does it still look like him or something? And he's like, "That's not me."
I think it faded away at some point.
Yeah, when he
Oh,
first
okay.
stabbed at you, it then melted
okay.
away, skin melty. Blech.
Oh, that's true.
It's a poor washerwoman. Hi, did they?
Poor washerwoman.
Like good.
That poor woman.
Good Reddit.
Just, once again,
Good
just really
Reddit.
quick, right out of frame. Like
My bane is fog and
Forceful.
washerwomen. It's like
now that's a country song. Good turn.
like I feel like there'll be like one section where it'll probably take out some big bad, and all of a sudden there's a washerwoman inside like a foggy hallway, and like
So
I'm
when
going
you
the other way.
Look at him now.
Like I just killed
I
him.
am
Bottom tips
Mikazama,
of every
and I will make you face
now
your
vibrant with
greatest
like a
fears.
purple hue.
Your
Presumably
father,
light refraction.
your
Same
goddess,
thing with his
return,
blackened wings
and a washerwoman.
It's tipped in purple. There's a section between.
Oh, hell no.
also a
I know.
black,
It's more like the washerwoman's like, oh, it's not that bad. Fog.
a little deeper, a little darker.
Oh hell, can I trade you?
Can I fight your daddy?
I'll fight your dad.
Ariana is pissed. Right
Ooh.
now.
Yeah. She's like
You
when he
fly?
when he comes flying down, because her father, the description of her father, for the listener, was this like dark skinned, because it's like but winged man, because they're the Asimar. Asimar? I always say this wrong. Asimar?
Yeah.
God
Potato,
damn.
potato, potato.
Asimar.
Potato,
Yeah.
where are you from?
As-
It don't matter.
Asimar.
ASMR.
ASMR.
Oh,
ASMR.
ew, I love ASMR.
He's got dark skin and big black wings. That was awkward.
You're gonna make me fall asleep. I don't know if you want to keep doing that.
Coarse feathers that drifted from his dark angelic wings.
I do have a friend who does some ASMR stuff you guys want to go. But after
I cannot do ASMR because I have a lisp.
some people, hey, you never know. People like people like what they like.
No one wants to listen to suffering succotash over here.
But so anyway, she just saw this visage of her father, and then she sees this other big, like, dark figure with wings come flying in, right?
Two of your
And so
three
she thinks it's her father again.
Oh my god, you transplanted all your negative feelings onto Thalgris because he's taken on the closest guys to your father, a large dark winged thing?
In this moment, I would say, for sure.
That explains why-
So she's like, I didn't know he could do this. He's hiding things from me. And so did Turquoise hid things from me. And I'm feeling like a little bit like, there should be some openness in this group. We've got all these secrets, and I'm tired of the secrets. So that's where she's at.
Y'all already know my secrets.
I was hoping we could get one more dick joke in here.
And you know what? We learned those in the first session.
we're trying to get
you
one
would
more
like to
dick
do
joke.
when
We're trying to get one more.
if something happens, you would trigger something.
Oh god.
Wait, well, no, wait, that wasn't the first session.
That was
right?
second.
Like, that was when
That
you
was-
guys.
oh,
Yeah, it was.
That was the water. No, wasn't it the
Yeah,
waterfall
that was
scenario?
Yeah.
That was our first
That was the
session.
first
That was
session.
second.
With you
Because he-
guys escaping the caved room with all the
Oh, yeah,
things
that was
up
the
in
second one.
The cages.
Yeah, first
Yeah,
session was
it
first
was
one.
second
Yeah, it was
one.
Oh,
second
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah,
Rage
yeah,
up,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
Captain America.
Second,
Yeah,
second,
y'all should check out the
second.
second session. Watch the first one and the second one. You know, get the context. So yeah.
Just if you've actually gotten this far into our video of 2 hours and 40 minutes, yeah, go back and if you enjoyed this, go back and watch our early stuff and get context. Yeah.
Yeah. Understand where that dick joke started.
It was me.
I
I made a mistake.
You ruined it. You ruined it. Now they're not gonna watch it. Now they're not gonna watch it.
Wouldn't be the first time I made a mistake. Never mind.
The implications. Ha ha. The implications.
Badooms.
Okay, so Ariana.
Wow,
you-
I just
now,
mimicked
we
at the same time as
normally
myself.
wash
That was
women.
freaky.
So go to the turnbuckle.
Okay, so
So you've been. That is correct.
And grapple.
Well, okay, you did see that Velvet went and pointed at the washwoman, and then Thalgris went and took her out.
I'm just picturing Andre the Giant just bumping, donking the I can't remember
the albino.
the one that
Make an investigation.
yeah, the one that takes the life out of him.
They took him to the pit of I took him to the pit of despair. Oh, there's no chance. Like.
Just wanders up to the washroom.
investigation check.
Jog his memory.
Yeah.
I drugged him
He's
too
not
hard.
intelligent. Stop it now! I mean it.
Anybody want a peanut?
Inconceivable. You never
Yeah,
engage
you
in a battle
just
with,
see
with a
the
Sicilian
drops
when death
right
is on the
behind
line. At least doesn't look, he at least
That is
looks
my
like he's had a
Vicini.
bath, besides all the blood stains.
Then you should drink the glass that is in front of you.
I obviously can't take the drink in front of you because you learned that man is mortal. Quark! You know who I am? I'm the Grand Nagus. Roll an athletics to grapple. Or are you trying to attack?
I feel like that actor and Gilbert Gottfried went to the same school.
Okay, so yeah, just a grapple. So yeah, roll an athletics check.
At this moment, Aaron's like, everybody's been holding the crap out of me. I'm going to hold the crap out of this guy.
Like, it's my turn.
Out.
Yay! Oh,
No, not
that's
that.
right.
No.
They woke him up.
Yeah.
Snaps him out of it.
And then
No luck.
there's a squish right after this.
No, no, you're a good boy.
Well, I need to take out my frustration on
It is
something.
his turn. He's going to try to attack you at disadvantage.
Yeah, you know where my brain went.
Oh my god!
We all went there. We all went there.
I did it! I wasn't thinking of it. Until now.
Firebolt.
I went misty-eyed. Y'all can't see
taking
me because I'm not on
everyone
camera
out
right
in
now, but I
one
went
fell
misty-eyed
swoop.
and thought,
Everyone in this room.
there's a joke there.
You're like a villain.
Yeah, I that was where I was. I was like,
Turn
man, I don't know what to say, so I just laughed.
It's just a firebolt, so it's not a big deal. If I remember correctly. Just a triple check.
Triple check.
Take 6 points.
Yeah,
of fire damage.
I think I had to duck off camera for a second because My wife had brought me in some food in the middle of the
Get a little bit of that
session.
disco inferno.
And it was going to be too hot to have straight away. And I was like, oh, wait till the end. And then I was like, no, I'm going to have this.
You grab him from behind, and he's like, "Ugh," and he gets one.
It's just some mac and
Oh,
cheese.
that sounds good right now.
And is able to like kind of flash fire you in the face. Just try to get you to
Oh, a
let
quick
go.
little firebolt. Just a little,
But it's still
a little
grappled.
firebolt. Just a poof.
And then the two fighting outside.
I think we can pretty much summarize from here as we're seeing that the last two cultists are just shanking each other in the street.
Right.
While we're finishing up the last cultist. I think we can just kind of move on and talk about the win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
'Cause I think we got through all the fun, interesting stuff.
Right.
Yep.
Well, then we're just gonna pop right to here.
So after we leave this area, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go to a sort of like abandoned location, safe house type thing, right?
Oh, yeah, this is where the emotions start to come out.
Yeah, got emotional.
The Fed, Georges had led you to a safe house that he had also hunkered down in along the way to get to the City of Crazies. And it was like a half dilapidated house that you all kind of like went under the eaves and through some of the rubble and then slid it back into place. So it's like half a home. There's still like a table, a couple of chairs, like one bed still like active. It's like the living room survived in one bedroom, but like the kitchen and everything else and the other bedrooms that were here were all caved in.
Yeah. And then Ariana, through this whole conversation before they head that direction, is like irritated, obviously, but trying to hold off until we get there to kind of have this talk. And what ensues is, and I explained this to them, so I guess the listener, it's probably good to know, is Ariana is kind of like, I don't know if you've ever been in this situation before, but where your partner wants to argue about something in front of people, and you don't really want to argue with them right now. You want to wait till you get home, but they won't stop. So that's how it kind of feels with Velvet. Like, they're having this whole argument, sort of argument. It's not really argument. Like, she's like airing her grievances, and they're talking about a bunch of stuff, and he doesn't even know what's going on. And it kind of devolves into like this whole discussion about she killed Turquoise.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of unpacking all of that
In front
which
of
they haven't really.
the
yeah.
new guy who's just like,
Right.
okay.
And I think one of the things was basically like, Thalgris, you haven't told me all of, like, you obviously are holding shit back, and we can't have, like, distrust after all that we went through. And then it kind of brought up, well, yeah, oh yeah, what did we go through? Right, you killed one of our party members, huh? And it was kind of like this whole, like, thing. Mm-hmm. And then Thalgris said something that I think was a turning point, and I don't think it was an intentional turning point, but it was something along the lines of, like...
it's when I said, sorry for interrupting. No, but...
Yeah, go.
Sorry. No, it was when I said that it's not my job to say who lives or dies. And then that's when Thalgris said, that's why you're my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when he said, that's why you're my friend, Ariana was like, so I'm not your friend, because I wouldn't make that call. And she goes on this tangent of kind of like, you don't let a monster live. You have to kill a monster before it kills more people. You have to stop the damage and stuff like that. Is what the point she was trying to make. And it was like, I don't think I could recreate it because it was so heated in the moment. Yeah. But it was a good line.
I think
go for it. I was just going to say there was one part in there too where you were talking about secrets and holding secrets, and I think Thalgris made the point that we don't even know Ariana's story yet, so
yeah,
you want to talk about secrets.
Yeah, but that was after the whole like friend thing, so she was like, it doesn't really matter. It's not that big. I'm not your friend, so it doesn't really matter what my past is, you know, like.
Yep.
And I think the other thing that like kind of pointed that conversation that direction was when Turnbuckle brought up maybe we shouldn't have killed Turquoise because at least we'd have more knowledge about what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what kind of set you off about, like, no,
Yeah.
he had to be stopped.
Yeah. 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 And I think basically the kind of like player's note, I guess you could call it here, is like Ariana's at a very weird point because she did something that was not with the rest of the moral compass of the group. Now we had Turquoise, who was obviously very in a different moral compass, right?
I was fucking evil!
But Ariana is neutral good alignment, which I know a lot of times doesn't mean anything, right, in games, because it depends on how you play. But she doesn't care about the law. She just cares about that people are taken care of, right? The law doesn't matter to her because she's seen the lawlessness of it. Justice is bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you take it into your own hands or you don't get it. And that's what she's learned over her life. So you're seeing the differences between good characters and how their alignment changes, shifts. You know, like these people who would have made a different choice than her, and now that she's got this misunderstanding of what Thalgris meant, because Thalgris did not mean to say that she wasn't his friend because of it. He didn't mean it that way, but she took it that way. We're in this point where she's either going to step off in a deep end and be like the anti, like, whatever, against, you know, not I'm saying like, you know, the villain, but she's definitely gonna, it's gonna cause conflict.
More of an
as time goes
anti-hero.
on. Right. It's gonna be like, I'm here because I said I would be, when I felt this way about you guys, and now I don't feel that way anymore, but I said I would be, so I'm doing it. You know, so you've got the difference between that versus, you know, and it's very possible we could have a conversation and fix it.
I love that
So-
the fact that, like, you're going through, like, kind of this this trust issue, while Thalgris is dealing with, like, a loss of identity issue with, like, his religion is now, like, in question, and his country and homeland is in question.
Right.
And then you've got the one dealing with guilt and loss. You know, who's seeing his entire homeland, his village, his homeland, his family, and just everything falling apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference. It's funny you talk about alignment because Thalgris is actually chaotic neutral. So on that side of things, he might have been trying to come up with a reason not to kill Turquoise back when the lieutenant wanted it to happen. However, he was fully complicit with you and the murder.
Right.
And it wasn't so much a case of he feels any sort of regret. That's not it at
Right.
all. He's probably more along the sides of he wishes he could have been as good aligned, I suppose, is not the right way to put it, but it kind of describes it as Aaron. And that's why he made that comment as like, well, that's why you're my friend, because you're leading me in a better path than the which way I could go if I followed you, for example.
Right.
so for him, he's in this middle ground of like, well, he could go either way.
Right. Well, his whole thing about keeping Turquoise alive was not because, like, we got to get justice or we got to do the right thing. It was because he could be useful. Right?
Yeah.
And then I think the other thing about it is, and the point that she didn't bring up, which may come up, you know, later, but, like, Thalgris let her do it. Like, Thalgris knew. I mean, we talked about this. Thalgris knew what she was going to do, and he let her do it. And so she feels like he's casting stones when she's kind of like, but you knew I was going to do it. You know, if you didn't want me to do it, you should have stopped me. You know, like, you know, you're taking the moral high ground for letting something happen. Yeah.
And there's definitely a sense of confusion at the moment of like, why are you so angry right now from Thalgris? Of like, there's nothing here that we've done against you for you to feel so angry towards us. So, you know, and that's kind of why the response was like, we need to hear your story.
Right.
Another interesting point is the fact that, like, when the threat of killing him came, you know, with the lieutenant, and it came down to Thalgris, and then Thalgris did that nat 20, you religion check, and the goddess was like, no, he could be useful, keep him around. But when you were in that in the mansion, in the pocket dimension, in the traveling Doctor Who house,
Right.
she couldn't reach you, she couldn't
Right.
talk to you, and so
Right.
yeah, so she couldn't recommend anything, she couldn't give you any guidance in any way, shape, or form. And so when you made that decision, she doesn't even know that decision was made.
Right. Right.
Yep.
That's true.
And so that's why I think it's a fun little area, little pocket, I suppose, we're in at the moment, because of the character development situation of what's happening now.
Right.
You're standing your ground, and Thalgris is very much teetering on the edge, and then you've got Aaron, who's like completely on the other side.
Right. Right. And that's what's kind of interesting about all this, is I'll be interested to see how, because it's one of those moments, you never watch those moments in movies where you're like, if someone would just have a fucking honest conversation here, you would clear up everything.
Right.
But and that happens in real life, where it's like someone totally misunderstands the situation, and you're like, why was she a total ass to me? Like, I don't understand why that person overreacted and did that. What you don't realize is inadvertently you might have done something that caught. I mean, some people are just jerks, but there's like, so that's a kind of it's a misunderstanding. It's one of those moments in like a movie where you're like, why don't you just have a goddamn conversation? If you would just have the conversation, it would be fixed.
For all Thalgris knows, you could just be jealous that I got my wings first.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But does Thalgris already know that she's ASMR? Or?
I think we kind of dealt with that in the beginning, but you also described your father.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think Ariana's thing is largely she's not exactly sure, because she just never, like, her father died when she was young, and they hadn't really had to have the conversation at that point. Like, she knows there's something different about her, but she doesn't exactly know what all of it means. That's kind of the thing I think we were going to go for. I might be wrong on that.
It's like, you're half human.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
But I think, like, I think to that point, like, I think we've got this sort of tension in the group, and that's part of the thing about having a player that kind of does things that are outside of what, the party necessarily would do, I think, is that there's a lasting rift that is Turquoise. Mm-hmm. And will we ever get past that point where it's a problem,
And I think that's what's funny, right? Is that your character and Ariana and Turquoise are polar opposites, but equally the same,
right?
In a way,
right.
Like to the viewer, to the observer,
right? Because the ends justify the means, right? Mm-hmm. And for Turquoise, it was always yes. For Ariana, it's I think she realized early on that there was an ends that needed to happen, and that was Turquoise's end. But did she have to do it, or did it have to be a group decision and her taking it in her own hands?
Oh, Ariana, you killed your Joker.
Yeah.
you could have been the Batman to his Joker.
I could have been.
Except you did what Batman should do: kill the fucking Joker.
Right.
How many lives?
Right.
And it's funny. And it's funny as well, like, even outside of the game, I've wondered what would have happened to the dynamic of the group had Thalgris have swung. Like, obviously, Lieutenant would be happy.
Right.
But what would have changed in the group at that moment? Like, what would have done to his and Aaron's relationship?
Right.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing at that point. And I think that was a really interesting turning point that hasn't necessarily gone away.
Right.
It's just sort of...
You guys kind of built it up because all of this happened away from, like, regular continuity, I guess I would say. And so, it's almost like the death of Turquoise what came at the same time as you guys came into a new world. So it's like it's almost like, it's like it not only was there a dramatic character shift and a party dynamic shift with the loss of a character, but now you're also in an even more what's what's the word I'm looking for? Mysterious, I guess,
Chaotic.
world setting, because it's it's changed even more so than what you guys were already experiencing. I don't know. I find it interesting. It's basically it's like, oh hey, here's this big change. By the way, everything else changes too.
Right. So what's the symptom of the world change? What's the symptom of the party change, party dynamic change? The blurred lines.
Yep.
And I think the other thing that why like the build up of to Turquoise's death, because that seems to still be the main topic here behind everything,
Right.
is it's like for Thalgris it was his threats. It wasn't so much the deeds he was doing for his patron, because in some respects Thalgris kind of understood that obligation.
Right.
It was more the threats he was constantly doing, like the threats towards Gregory and
poisoning the water supply.
well, not that anybody else knew.
Right.
But like, yeah, the fact that like it wasn't just the fact that he would do his master's bidding, but he was also a villain. He was a villain. He took to the role and went with it like all the way.
Right.
And I think that's the difference in that point there, because I guess there was a sense of, for Thalgris, maybe he can be redeemed. Maybe that's what Shah meant. Maybe he can be redeemed and be useful that way. But then it got to a point where it was like, no, he's not coming back. He's going further.
Right.
Well, I think we're good here. I think we should probably start to wrap things up. Any shout outs that you guys want to do now at the end of the episode?
I just want to say it was a shout out to everybody playing last week, because it was a lot of fun and a good dynamic that we had.
Yeah, definitely. The role-playing elements are my favorite parts. And so getting to really kind of role-play through this sort of really difficult situation, I think is good. I think it's compelling,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really glad that even in the battle, I was able to pull out some moments to like kind of affect your storyline, just with the illusions and everything. And with Thalgris revealing his wings, like all of that, like it was nice to use a battle to actually help further the narrative, as opposed to just like, oh, it's an encounter. It's like, no, it actually helped further deepen the role play between you guys, which was great. I do want to give a shout out to Billy Zed and Two Socks for getting us all together here at FeatherFall Tabletop Gaming, and Skull Splitter Dice, our personal patrons here on our game here, who make some wonderful metallic dice, and Found Familiar Coffee, a wonderful brew to keep us awake and gaming for, how long was the session? Almost 4 hours. But we will finally bring this to a close, and as much as I enjoyed this very much, and hey, if we get 1,000 views, we'll do it again, but we hope that we won't have technical difficulties like this again, and have to spend 2 weeks in the game. Alright, bye everybody!